Ever wonder what Lucille Ball smelled like on set? Turns out it wasn't fresh laundry. Insiders say she skipped washing her costumes and just doused them in perfume, and that rumor was just the start of her bizarre work habits. Let's get into it. From small-town struggles. Lucille Ball's rise to stardom was anything but an overnight success. Born in Jamestown, New York on August 6, 1911, she grew up in a working-class family that never had much stability. Her father, Henry Ball, died of typhoid fever when she was just 3 years old, leaving her mother, Desiree, to raise Lucille and her younger brother alone. They bounced between relatives' homes, struggling to make ends meet. By the time she was a teenager, Lucille had already developed an obsession with performing. At 15, she begged her mother to send her to the prestigious John Murray Anderson School for Dramatic Arts in New York City. But instead of being hailed as a future star, she got a harsh reality check. One of her instructors, who had trained Bette Davis, dismissed her outright, telling her she lacked talent and would never make it in show business. That might have discouraged most aspiring performers, but Lucille wasn't wired that way. She returned home, took a series of odd jobs, and eventually started modeling under the name Diane Belmont. That gig led to her first break in Hollywood's so-called Poverty Row films, low-budget productions churned out by minor studios. She became one of RKO's go-to actresses for forgettable roles, earning the nickname Queen of the Bees. But while Hollywood saw her as just another interchangeable blonde, she had bigger plans. She worked tirelessly, taking every opportunity to hone her comedic timing. By the late 1930s, she had carved out a steady career playing quirky best friends and showgirls. Then, in 1940, her life took an unexpected turn when she met a charismatic Cuban band leader named Desi Arnaz on the set of Dance Girl, Dance. He was 23. She was 29. Sparks flew immediately. 6 months later, they eloped, setting the stage for one of the most iconic and chaotic partnerships in Hollywood history. By the mid-1940s, Lucille was tired of being a studio afterthought. When CBS approached her to turn her radio show My Favorite Husband into a TV series, she saw a golden opportunity, but on one condition: Desi had to play her husband. The network balked, insisting that audiences wouldn't accept a red-headed American housewife married to a Cuban musician. Lucille refused to back down. She and Desi took their act on the road, performing a live show across the country to prove their chemistry worked. The gamble paid off. CBS gave in, and in 1951, I Love Lucy hit the airwaves. No time for laundry. Ball wasn't just the star of I Love Lucy, she was its mastermind. Every detail mattered. She wasn't cracking jokes for laughs, she was crafting comedy with precision. A misplaced beat, a weak punchline, or a flubbed reaction? Not acceptable. If something wasn't landing, they'd run it again, and again, and again. She treated rehearsals like boot camp, pushing herself and her co-stars until every movement, expression, and pause hit exactly right. No wasted moments, no shortcuts, and certainly no unnecessary distractions like laundry. Wardrobe changes? A hassle. Costume washing? An even bigger waste of time. Instead of sending her outfits to be cleaned, she came up with her own efficiency hack: perfume. Rather than break her rhythm or take time away from fine-tuning a scene, she'd simply spray down her costumes, masking any sweat with an expensive fragrance. It became a running joke among the I Love Lucy crew. A freshly dressed Lucy Ricardo might smell like Chanel No. 5 on screen, but those close to her knew the truth. Underneath the glamour, the scent was covering up yesterday's work, or maybe the day before that. But the perfume habit wasn't just about convenience. It was part of a much larger mindset. Lucille believed comedy was a discipline. The set wasn't a place for improvisation or last-minute rewrites. Every actor had their lines drilled into them. No ad-libs, no variations. It had to be perfect. Desi Arnaz often compared working with her to military training, and he wasn't the only one who felt it. Co-star William Frawley, a veteran performer himself, griped that her obsession with precision could be exhausting, but no one could argue with the results. I Love Lucy didn't just succeed, it dominated. Over 40 million people tuned in every week, at a time when the entire US population was around 150 million. It wasn't just a hit, it was the show. And while the perfume trick may have saved her some time, it was her relentless drive for perfection that cemented Lucille Ball as a television legend. Bruises and no stunt doubles. When most actors would step aside for a stunt double, she threw herself into the chaos. If a scene called for her to tumble down a flight of stairs, get soaked in freezing water, or take a hit to the face, she did it herself. There were no shortcuts, no fake pratfalls, just real pain in the name of comedy. And she paid the price. One of I Love Lucy's most famous moments, Lucy working in a bakery, was far rougher than it looked. In the scene, she had to roll dough, shape loaves, and get smacked in the face with a putty-covered baguette. The problem? The actor playing the baker wasn't pulling her punches. Every hit landed hard, leaving Lucille with bruises all over her face. But stopping mid-scene wasn't an option. She took the hits, stayed in character, and delivered one of the show's most iconic slapstick routines. Then there was the grape-stomping fiasco. Lucy's Italian movie was meant to be a light-hearted episode about her trying to break into Italian cinema. The real trouble started when she stepped into a giant vat of grapes alongside an actual Italian grape stomper. What was supposed to be a playful wrestling match turned real when her co-star, misunderstanding the script, shoved Lucille under the juice. She wasn't acting, she was actually struggling to breathe. And that wasn't the only time her stunts became dangerous. During the Loving Cup episode, where Lucy gets a giant trophy stuck on her head, the weight of the metal nearly caused her to lose her balance. She had to navigate stairs and busy streets while practically blind, relying on muscle memory to keep from falling. Even years later, Lucille downplayed her injuries. The bruises, the exhaustion, the twisted ankles, it was all part of the job. She didn't believe in shortcuts, and she certainly didn't believe in half committing to a joke. If a scene wasn't perfect, she'd do it again, no matter how much it hurt. She built a media empire. In an industry where women were rarely taken seriously, Lucille Ball became the first female head of a major Hollywood studio. That wasn't a title anyone handed to her. She took it. Desilu Productions started as a husband and wife operation in 1950. It was supposed to be a way for Lucille and Desi Arnaz to maintain creative control over I Love Lucy. But as the years went on, it grew into something much bigger. By the late 1950s, Desilu wasn't just making sitcoms. It was a full-blown studio producing multiple television shows. The business thrived, but their marriage didn't. By 1960, the couple was done. Most women in her position would have walked away. Ball didn't. Instead, she bought out Desi's shares for $3 million and took over as sole owner. A woman running a major studio? Unheard of. Industry insiders doubted she could handle it. Some executives openly dismissed her as just an actress playing boss. Others expected her to fail and sell the company within a year. But Lucille wasn't interested in proving them wrong. She was interested in running a studio. And she did. Under her leadership, Desilu produced Star Trek, Mission Impossible, and The Andy Griffith Show. Those weren't just hit series. They became pillars of television history. Without Lucille greenlighting Star Trek, the show wouldn't exist. Gene Roddenberry had already been rejected by multiple networks before Desilu took a chance on his sci-fi vision. But running Desilu wasn't easy. The pressure was relentless, and the skepticism never fully disappeared. Even when she made the studio profitable, there were whispers that she didn't belong. Still, she pressed on, making sure every show under her watch was given the same perfectionist attention she once gave I Love Lucy. By 1968, Lucille was exhausted. Running a studio wasn't just a full-time job, it was her entire life. She made the difficult decision to sell Desilu to Gulf plus Western for $17 million, about $150 million today. That deal merged Desilu with Paramount, making it one of the most powerful entertainment companies in Hollywood. Superstitions and offbeat rituals. Lucille Ball didn't just run a tight set, she had a few personal rules that some might call, well, odd. She was meticulous about everything, from her comedic timing to her daily routines. Although these are anecdotal rumors, But when it came to superstitions, she took them as seriously as a script read through. For starters, numbers had to be just right. Ball had an unusual fixation on the number 3. If something important was happening, she wanted it tied to that number. At the same time, she refused to do anything major on the 13th. No filming, no contracts, no important calls. Crew members even noticed that she wouldn't start a big scene if the clock landed on an odd minute. If she caught it too late, she'd pause and wait until the time felt right. Then there was astrology. Lucille didn't just read horoscopes, she lived by them. She believed zodiac signs determined compatibility in both her personal and professional life. According to multiple sources, she even asked potential hires for their birth dates before making a final decision. If the stars weren't aligned, the job wasn't happening. She once joked that Desi Arnaz's Leo energy complemented her Leo rising sign, though their real-life marriage told a different story. And if you worked with her, there was one unspoken rule. Never bring up the color green. She absolutely despised it. No green costumes, no green sets, no green props. No one really knew why, but she was adamant about it. One unfortunate wardrobe assistant made the mistake of dressing her in a green outfit for an episode, only to have Ball take one look at it and refuse to go on until they found something else. But perhaps her strangest quirk. She believed she had a supernatural connection to the spirit world. In the 1970s, she confided in close friends that she often heard voices inside her house. Some thought she was joking, but she insisted otherwise. She believed her home sat on an old radio transmission line and claimed she could pick up signals through her fillings. That's right, she was convinced that metallic dental work turned her into a human radio receiver. The marriage broke her career. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz didn't just create television history, they built it from the ground up. Their love story was the backbone of I Love Lucy, but off-screen it was far more complicated. When they met in 1940 on the set of Too Many Girls, their chemistry was instant. But so were their differences. She was 28, practical, and fiercely career-driven. He was 23, a Cuban band leader with a wild streak, more interested in late-night parties than early-morning call times. Their whirlwind romance led to an elopement 6 months later. Friends thought it wouldn't last. Studios did too. Ball was a rising star, and Hollywood wasn't convinced the marriage would survive. But Lucille didn't care. She was all in. When I Love Lucy became a hit in 1951, it wasn't just a TV show. It was their marriage, their business, their entire world. They built Desilu Productions together, turning it into a television empire. Behind the scenes, though, the cracks were already forming. Lucille was a workaholic. Perfection wasn't optional, it was mandatory. Every scene had to be rehearsed to the point of exhaustion, and every script had to meet her exact standards. Desi, meanwhile, was juggling studio operations and his own personal demons. Late nights at the country club turned into rumors of infidelity. The tabloids couldn't get enough of it, and neither could Lucille. She knew what was happening. The long hours, the strained conversations, the unspoken truths between them. By the late 1950s, the marriage was more of a business partnership than a love story. In 1960, after 20 years together, she finally filed for divorce. It wasn't just about the betrayal, it was about control. She bought out Desi's shares of Desilu, making her the first woman to run a major Hollywood studio. People doubted her. They thought she couldn't handle the pressure without Desi, but as always, she proved them wrong. Still, their connection never fully disappeared. Years later, their daughter Lucy Arnaz shared a private moment between them. Just before Desi's death in 1986, he called Lucille. "I love you," they said to each other. No audience, no script, no reruns, just them. The comeback that didn't work. Even after I Love Lucy ended, she refused to fade into the background. Retirement? Not in her vocabulary. She jumped straight into The Lucy Show in 1962, proving that audiences still loved watching her antics. When that wrapped, she followed up with Here's Lucy in 1968, bringing her real-life children, Lucy and Desi Jr., into the mix. Both shows performed well, keeping her in the public eye for nearly 2 more decades, but something had shifted. While both series were popular, neither captured the magic of I Love Lucy. The writing felt more formulaic, and the chemistry with her new co-stars never quite reached the heights of her dynamic with Desi Arnaz. Fans still adored her, but TV was evolving. Sitcoms were moving away from slapstick and into more contemporary, character-driven storytelling. By the early 1980s, Lucille Ball had finally stepped away from television. But she didn't stay gone for long. In 1986, at 75, she made one last attempt to reclaim her sitcom throne with Life with Lucy. The network bet big on her return, skipping the usual pilot process and ordering an entire season up front. On paper, it seemed like a guaranteed hit. It wasn't. From the very first episode, something felt off. The writing was outdated, the jokes fell flat, and the physical comedy that made her famous didn't have the same spark. More importantly, the audience had changed. The world had moved on from her brand of humor, and network executives underestimated just how much. Ratings were a disaster. Life with Lucy pulled in less than half the viewership ABC had expected. After just 8 episodes, they made the brutal decision to cancel it. It was the first time in her career that a show with her name on it had completely flopped, and it devastated her. Lucille never publicly admitted how much Life with Lucy's failure hurt, but those close to her saw it. She withdrew from the spotlight, making only occasional public appearances. She stole the Oscars. Ball never needed Hollywood's approval to be a star. She built her own empire, paved her own way, and changed television forever. Award shows? They were just a formality. She rarely attended them, and when she did, it was on her terms. No endless press circuits, no forced smiles. Just Lucy, walking in like she owned the place. The 1989 Academy Awards were no exception. She hadn't been on television in years, hadn't released a new project, and wasn't nominated for anything. But when she entered the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion that night, all eyes were on her. Dressed in a striking red gown, she was elegance, history, and Hollywood royalty wrapped into one. Henry Mancini, the legendary composer, escorted her. Not that she needed the company. She commanded attention the second she stepped into the room. As soon as the cameras spotted her, the audience shot to their feet. A standing ovation before she even sat down. This wasn't about an award or a movie. It was about her. It was a moment of pure recognition, an unspoken thank you from the industry she had reshaped. Even after decades in the business, she could still steal the show without saying a word. But behind that flawless appearance, her health was failing. At 77, her body was feeling the effects of years of grueling work. Just a few weeks after the Oscars, she was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center for emergency heart surgery. The world held its breath. Outside the hospital, fans gathered in droves. They left flowers, held vigils, and wrote letters. People who had never met her felt like they had lost a family member. She survived the operation, but the recovery was rough. Her heart, like her career, had worked harder than most. On April 26, 1989, Lucille Ball passed away at home. The news hit hard. But the thing about legends? They don't disappear. Her face is still on television screens. Her influence is still felt in every sitcom. And even now, if you watch I Love Lucy, she'll make you laugh, like she never left. How she changed TV forever. Before I Love Lucy, sitcoms were filmed like stage plays. A single camera captured everything in long takes, and if an actor flubbed a line, they had to redo the whole scene. Editing was expensive, and live studio audiences were rare outside of variety shows. That format had been the industry standard for years. Then Lucille changed everything. She and Desi Arnaz introduced the 3-camera setup, a method that allowed multiple angles to be filmed simultaneously. It gave directors more flexibility in editing, let actors move naturally, and captured genuine audience reactions without needing to reset scenes. Today, shows like Friends, Seinfeld, and The Big Bang Theory all use this system. Without I Love Lucy, the modern sitcom wouldn't exist. Her influence didn't stop with production techniques. Ball fought for something unheard of in the 1950s. creative control. CBS executives initially dismissed her idea of casting Desi as her TV husband, claiming that audiences wouldn't accept an interracial couple. Instead of backing down, she and Desi took their act on tour, performing live in front of thousands. When audiences responded with roaring laughter, CBS had no choice but to give them a shot. That bold move didn't just secure Desi's role, it set a precedent for actors to have more say in their projects. Then there's Star Trek. When NBC rejected the show's original pilot, Desilu Productions had a choice: scrap it or take a gamble. It was Ball, not a studio executive, who greenlit the reshoot, single-handedly keeping the project alive. If she hadn't backed Gene Roddenberry's vision, Star Trek wouldn't exist today. Her impact on television wasn't just about "I Love Lucy." She helped change the business itself, paving the way for actors to become producers, for women to take leadership roles, and for television to become a more dynamic, ambitious medium. Comedy, production, representation, she changed it all. And she did it without asking for permission. Her impact stretches far beyond I Love Lucy, reaching into the DNA of every sitcom, every female comedian, and every actor who dared to take control of their own career. Even decades after her passing, I Love Lucy isn't just remembered, it's still watched. The show remains in syndication worldwide, proving that great comedy doesn't have an expiration date. That classic chocolate factory scene? Still hilarious. Lucy's ridiculous grape-stomping fight? Still gold. In an era where most TV shows fade into nostalgia, hers remains alive. And yes, she also once sprayed perfume on her sweaty costumes instead of washing them. Because if anyone could pull that off, it was Lucille Ball. In the puzzling world of the 1960s cinema, amidst psychedelic hues and cultural revolutions, emerged a face that would both captivate and mystify the world. Ewa Aulin. A Swedish siren whose journey from a small town to the dizzying heights of Hollywood reads like a script from the very films she starred in. It was 1968, the year that reshaped Hollywood, when Ewa Aulin, barely 18, stepped into a role that would etch her name in the annals of film history. Candy, a film that flirted with controversy and seduced the era's rebellious spirit, became the vortex that pulled Aulin into a whirlwind of fame. But behind the camera's adoring gaze and the bright lights of stardom lay a path less seen, filled with twists and turns that led to her sudden, almost ghost-like disappearance from the silver screen. As the world moved on, the enigma of Ewa Aulin remained. Was she a comet that burned too bright too fast? Or was there more to the story of the girl who became an icon overnight and then, just as quickly, vanished? This is a journey back in time, a search for the untold story of Ewa Aulin, the star of Candy, whose life off-screen remained shrouded in mystery. What secrets lie behind her enigmatic smile? What truths wait to be uncovered? Join us as we delve into the unseen side of a star who left more questions than answers in her wake. Unraveling Ewa Aulin. In the late 1960s, a young Swedish actress named Ewa Aulin captured the imagination of the film world. Born in 1950 in Landskrona, Sweden, Ewa's journey to stardom was as rapid as it was remarkable. With her ethereal beauty and captivating screen presence, she quickly became a symbol of the era's cinematic revolution. Ewa's early life in Sweden was far removed from the glamour of Hollywood. Growing up in a small town, she was discovered in her teens and soon found herself thrust into the limelight. Her natural talent and striking looks caught the attention of filmmakers, and it wasn't long before she was on her way to becoming an international sensation. Her rise to fame was meteoric. At just 17, Ewa won the title of Miss Teen Sweden, catapulting her into the public eye. This victory opened doors to the world of cinema, leading her to roles that would define her career. Ewa's allure wasn't just in her physical appearance, it was her ability to convey depth and emotion on screen that set her apart. However, the path to fame is often fraught with challenges. For Ewa, the sudden exposure and the pressures of the industry were overwhelming. The transition from a small-town girl to a sought-after actress in international cinema was a journey filled with excitement, but also with unforeseen difficulties. Ewa Owlin's story is not just one of fame and film. It's a tale of a young woman navigating the complexities of a rapidly changing industry. Her early roles, while not as widely known as her later work, showcased her range and potential. They were the first steps in a career that would see her become an icon of her time. As we unravel the story of Ewa Owlin, we delve into the making of a star. Her ascent in the film industry, marked by both dazzling highs and challenging lows, paints a picture of an era and a talent that left an indelible mark on cinema. Ewa's story is a testament to the allure and the trials of the film world, a world that she both enchanted and was ultimately disillusioned by. The candy controversy. The year 1968 marked a pivotal moment in Ewa Owlin's career with the release of Candy, a film that would become synonymous with her name. Candy, based on the novel by Terry Southern and Mason Hoffenberg, was a satirical take on Voltaire's Candide, reimagined in a psychedelic, sexually charged landscape of the 1960s. Owlin, cast in the titular role, found herself at the center of a cinematic storm that would define her career. The film, directed by Christian Marquand, featured an ensemble cast of renowned actors, including Marlon Brando, Richard Burton, and Ringo Starr. Yet it was Ewa, a relatively unknown Swedish actress, who stole the spotlight. Her portrayal of the naive and beautiful Candy Christian was both lauded and criticized. For some, she embodied the free spirit of the era. For others, her character was a contentious symbol of the sexual revolution. Candy was controversial from the start. Its overt sexual themes and irreverent humor pushed the boundaries of mainstream cinema. The film was a bold exploration of sexuality, power, and the absurdity of societal norms. It was this audacity that made Candy a cult classic, but it also sparked debates and backlash. Critics were polarized, with some praising its daring approach, while others condemned it for its perceived vulgarity. For Ewa Owlin, Candy was both a blessing and a curse. The film catapulted her to international fame, making her a household name overnight. However, the controversy surrounding the film also typecast her, limiting her opportunities to showcase her range as an actress. The role of Candy Christian became a double-edged sword, offering fame but at the cost of artistic freedom. The impact of Candy on Ewa's career was profound. It opened doors to new projects and collaborations, but it also overshadowed her other work. The film's legacy, tied closely to Ewa's own, is a complex one. It stands as a testament to a bold and experimental era in cinema, but also as a reminder of the challenges faced by young actresses thrust into the spotlight. Ewa Owlin's experience with Candy reflects the broader dynamics of the film industry in the 1960s. It was a time of great change and experimentation, but also of controversy and debate. Candy remains a significant, if contentious, part of Ewa's legacy, a film that encapsulates the paradoxes of fame and artistic expression in an era that redefined cinema. Stardom's hidden shadows. Ewa Owlin's ascent to stardom, while rapid and dazzling, was not without its challenges. The glare of the spotlight often hides the less glamorous realities faced by those in the entertainment industry, and Ewa's experience was no exception. Her journey through the world of cinema during the late 1960s and early 1970s revealed the complexities and pressures that come with sudden fame, especially for a young actress. After Candy, Ewa found herself navigating a film industry that was both enamored by her charm and indifferent to her aspirations as an artist. The industry, particularly at that time, was known for its harsh realities, often overshadowed by the glitz of celebrity culture. Young actors, especially women, faced immense pressure to conform to certain roles and expectations. Ewa, with her ethereal beauty and European allure, was often typecast, limiting her ability to explore diverse and challenging roles. The psychological toll of this typecasting and the relentless pace of the industry began to weigh on Iwa. The transition from a teenager in Sweden to an international film star was a whirlwind that left little room for personal growth or reflection. The constant scrutiny, the need to maintain a public persona, and the lack of privacy were aspects of fame that Iwa, like many in her position, found difficult to navigate. Moreover, the film industry of that era was not known for its support of mental health or its sensitivity to the personal struggles of its stars. The focus was often on capitalizing on an actor's current fame with little regard for their long-term well-being. This environment could be particularly challenging for someone as young and inexperienced as Ewa was at the time. Ewa's story is reflective of the broader experience of many young actors thrust into the limelight. The hidden shadows of stardom, the loneliness, the typecasting, the pressure to maintain a certain image are often overlooked in the narratives of glamour and success. Ewa Aulin's journey through the highs and lows of fame provides a poignant insight into the often unseen challenges faced by those in the world of cinema. Her experiences during this period highlight the need for a more supportive and understanding industry, one that recognizes the human element behind the screen. Ewa's career, marked by both remarkable achievements and personal struggles, serves as a reminder of the complex reality that lies beneath the surface of stardom. Beyond the spotlight. Ewa Aulin's career, while marked by significant cinematic achievements, also tells a story of a young woman seeking her identity beyond the confines of the silver screen. As the 1970s progressed, Ewa began to explore life beyond her established persona as a film star. This chapter of her life is less documented, yet it is crucial in understanding the person behind the celebrity. After the whirlwind of Candy and subsequent roles, Ewa started to question her place in the film industry. The constant public scrutiny and the pressures of fame led her to yearn for a more grounded existence. She began to seek a life that allowed her personal growth and exploration, away from the expectations of Hollywood. This period in Ewa's life was marked by a deliberate step back from the limelight. She turned down roles that did not align with her evolving interests and started to pursue a life that was not defined solely by her acting career. This decision was bold, especially considering the momentum she had gained in the industry. However, it reflected her desire for authenticity and her need to carve out a space for herself beyond her public image. Ewa Aulin's move away from the constant glare of the film industry was not just a retreat, it was an exploration of a different kind of fulfillment. It was about redefining success on her own terms and finding contentment beyond the accolades and applause. Her life beyond the spotlight is a powerful narrative of personal resilience and the search for authenticity in a world that often values appearance over substance. Ewa's enigmatic exit. Her departure from the film industry was as enigmatic as her rise to fame. In the mid-1970s, at a time when many expected her career to continue its upward trajectory, Ewa made the unexpected decision to step away from acting. This move sparked curiosity and speculation among her fans and the media, as it seemed to contradict the typical aspirations of a rising star. The reasons behind Ewa's decision to leave the film industry were multifaceted and personal. One factor was her desire to pursue education. Ewa had always valued learning and personal development, and stepping away from acting provided her with the opportunity to focus on her studies. She enrolled in university, a choice that was at odds with the expectations of a Hollywood starlet, but aligned with her personal aspirations. Another aspect that influenced Ewa's decision was her disillusionment with the film industry. The reality of working in cinema, with its relentless focus on image and marketability, clashed with her personal values and aspirations for artistic expression. Ewa sought roles that challenged her as an actress, but such opportunities were scarce, leading to a sense of frustration and a reevaluation of her career path. Rumors and speculation about Iwa's sudden exit abounded. Some suggested that she was overwhelmed by the pressures of fame, while others speculated about possible personal reasons behind her decision. The truth, as is often the case with public figures, was likely a complex combination of personal and professional factors. Iwa's exit from acting was a bold move that left many unanswered questions. It was a decision that reflected her desire for autonomy and her willingness to forge a path that diverged from the expectations of the entertainment industry. Her departure from the film world marked the end of a significant chapter in her life, but also the beginning of a new journey of self-discovery and fulfillment. Iwa Owlin's enigmatic exit from the film industry remains a fascinating aspect of her story. It speaks to the challenges faced by young actors in navigating fame and highlights the courage it takes to make unconventional choices in pursuit of personal authenticity. Her departure from acting is a reminder of the often unseen struggles of those in the limelight and the complex realities behind the facade of celebrity. Lesser-known roles. Iwa Owlin's filmography, while often overshadowed by her role in Candy, includes a variety of lesser-known works that showcase her range and depth as an actress. These roles, though not as widely recognized, offer a glimpse into her versatility and her willingness to explore diverse characters and themes. One such film is Death Laid an Egg, a unique blend of giallo and science fiction genres. In this avant-garde Italian thriller, Iwa played Gabrielle, a character entangled in a complex plot involving love, murder, and genetic engineering. Her performance in this unconventional film demonstrated her ability to adapt to challenging and unconventional roles, far removed from the innocence of Candy Christian. Another notable but less discussed role of Iwa's was in The Double Bed, a dramatic exploration of marital strife and infidelity. In this film, Iwa portrayed a young woman caught in a tumultuous relationship, showcasing her capacity to convey deep emotional turmoil and vulnerability. Her performance was a departure from her more whimsical roles, revealing a more serious and introspective side of her acting abilities. Iwa also appeared in Microscopic Liquid Subway to Oblivion, a film that delved into the dark and surreal aspects of drug addiction. Her role in this film was a stark contrast to her previous characters, as it required a portrayal of the gritty and harrowing realities of substance abuse. This role was a testament to her willingness to tackle difficult and controversial subjects, further highlighting her range as an actress. In addition to these films, Iwa took on roles in various European productions, each presenting different challenges and opportunities for artistic expression. These roles, though not as celebrated as her work in Candy, were crucial in shaping her career and artistic journey. They allowed her to experiment with different genres and character types, broadening her experience and skills as an actress. Iwa's lesser-known roles are essential in understanding her as an actress and an artist. They demonstrate her desire to push boundaries and explore the complexities of human experience through her craft. These roles also reflect the diverse opportunities and challenges she faced in the film industry, shaping her path as an actress. While these roles did not garner the same level of fame as Candy, they are integral to Iwa Owlin's legacy. They showcase a side of her talent that is often overlooked, but is equally deserving of recognition and appreciation. Her performances in these lesser-known films are a testament to her versatility and commitment to her craft, offering a more nuanced view of her abilities and contributions to cinema. The truth behind Iwa Owlin rumors. Iwa Owlin's rise to fame was accompanied by a swirl of rumors and speculations, some of which have persisted over the years. This chapter aims to shed light on these rumors, separating fact from fiction and providing a clearer picture of Iwa's life and career. One of the most persistent rumors about Iwa Owlin was that her departure from the film industry was due to a nervous breakdown. This speculation was fueled by her sudden disappearance from the public eye and the demanding nature of her early career. However, This rumor lacks substantial evidence. Wise decision to leave acting was more about seeking personal fulfillment and education rather than a result of mental health issues. Her choice was a conscious and deliberate move towards a different path in life, driven by her own desires and aspirations. Another rumor that circulated was regarding Iwa's relationships with high-profile figures in the entertainment industry. Tabloids often linked her romantically with various co-stars and directors. While it's common for actors to be subject to such gossip, in Ewa's case, these stories were more fiction than reality. Ewa maintained a level of professionalism in her work that kept her personal and professional lives separate. Most of these rumored relationships were either exaggerated or entirely fabricated by the media. There were also rumors about Iwa being difficult to work with on set. These stories portrayed her as temperamental and demanding. However, colleagues and directors who worked with Iwa often spoke of her as a dedicated and hard-working actress. The narrative of her being a difficult star seems to be a classic case of misunderstanding and misrepresentation, a not uncommon occurrence in the film industry, especially for young actresses. Iwa's life post-Hollywood also became a subject of speculation. Rumors ranged from her living a reclusive life to her completely abandoning her past as an actress. The truth is more mundane and relatable. Iwa chose a life of normalcy, focusing on her education and family. She did not shun her past, but instead chose to not let it define her entire existence. A legacy revisited. Ewa Owlin's legacy in the film industry, though brief, left an indelible mark on the cinematic landscape of the 1960s and 70s. Her departure from acting did not diminish the impact she had made, particularly with her role in Candy. Over the years, her work, especially in this iconic film, has been revisited and re-evaluated, gaining her a new generation of admirers. Candy, once mired in controversy, has come to be appreciated for its daring approach and its commentary on the cultural and sexual revolutions of the era. Ewa's portrayal of Candy Christian, initially met with mixed reviews, is now often viewed in a different light. Critics and fans alike have come to recognize the complexity of her performance, which captured the innocence and satire inherent in the character. Beyond Candy, Ewa's other film roles, though less known, have also received attention. Films like Death Laid an Egg and The Double Bed showcase her versatility as an actress and her willingness to explore unconventional roles. These films, along with her brief but memorable career, contribute to a legacy that is both unique and intriguing. Ewa's decision to leave the film industry, once seen as abrupt and puzzling, is now often viewed as a bold and personal choice. In an era where celebrity culture often dictates one's path, Ewa's choice to prioritize her own well-being and interest is seen as a sign of strength and self-awareness. The legacy of Ewa Owlin is not just in the roles she played, but also in the narrative of her career. Her journey from a celebrated actress to a private individual pursuing education and personal growth is a story that resonates with many. It speaks to the universal themes of self-discovery, the search for authenticity, and the courage to follow one's own path. As time passes, Ewa Owlin's contribution to cinema continues to be appreciated by film enthusiasts and scholars. Her work remains a testament to a time of experimentation and change in the film industry, and her story is a reminder of the human aspect behind the glamour of the silver screen. Ewa's legacy, both on and off the screen, continues to inspire and captivate audiences, making her a lasting figure in the history of film. Ewa Today, The Untold Story. After leaving the film industry, Ewa chose a life away from the limelight, focusing on personal pursuits and a quieter existence. This shift has led to much curiosity about her current life and activities. Ewa's decision to step back from public life was a deliberate one, reflecting her desire for normalcy and privacy. Unlike many former celebrities who maintain a public presence, Ewa has largely stayed out of the media and public discourse. This choice has naturally led to speculation and interest in her current whereabouts and activities. Despite her withdrawal from public life, Ewa occasionally resurfaces in media reports or interviews, providing glimpses into her life after fame. These rare appearances have revealed that she pursued education and focused on family life, embracing roles far removed from her former celebrity status. The lack of extensive public information about Ewa's current life has led to a sense of mystery surrounding her. Fans and film historians often express curiosity about her post-Hollywood journey, wondering how she has navigated life after fame. This curiosity is a testament to the lasting impact of her brief but memorable career in the film industry. Ewa Owlin's story today is a narrative of choice and the pursuit of a life defined by personal values rather than public expectations. Her decision to live away from the public eye is a powerful statement about the value of privacy and the right to redefine one's life on one's own terms.
Hollywood loves a good love story, but when it comes to Susan Sarandon, the line between fact and fiction is blurrier than ever. Today we cut through the noise and bring you the real story of her love life. From her storied past to her bold revelations, find out what Susan has to say about the affairs that have kept tabloids buzzing. The emergence of the rumors. Celebrated for her roles in films like Thelma and Louise and Dead Man Walking, Susan Sarandon often found herself in the spotlight. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, her love life became a significant topic of public interest. In 1988, while filming Bull Durham, she met Tim Robbins. Their on-screen chemistry blossomed into a real-life romance, captivating fans and media alike. Their relationship, lasting over 2 decades, was high-profile in Hollywood. The couple had 2 sons, Jack and Miles, and appeared to be a perfect match. Their decision not to marry fueled constant media speculation and scrutiny. Despite a relatively stable personal life with Robbins, rumors about other alleged affairs began to circulate. In the early 1990s, whispers linked her to other co-stars and prominent Hollywood figures. These rumors often lacked substantiation, but persisted due to her celebrity status. In 1999, while starring alongside Paul Newman in Twilight, tabloids speculated about a possible fling, despite both being in committed relationships. Newman, a longtime friend, dismissed the rumors as typical Hollywood nonsense. By the early 2000s, gossip continued unabated. In 2003, she and Robbins attended the Cannes Film Festival, where their interactions with various celebrities led to another round of rumors. Sources close to the couple dismissed these stories as completely unfounded. In 2009, their separation after 23 years together fueled even more speculation. The media buzzed with theories about the reasons behind the split, many suggesting infidelity. Both Sarandon and Robbins maintained a dignified silence amid the media storm. As Sarandon continued her successful career in films like Cloud Atlas and The Lovely Bones, the rumors persisted. A new wave of gossip arose in 2010 when she began working with Jonathan Bricklin on the ping pong club, Spin. Their close professional relationship led to further speculation about a romantic involvement. Despite the constant rumors, she rarely addressed them publicly. In a 2012 interview with AARP, she commented on her relationship with Robbins, stating, "We were together for a really long time. It's an incredible thing to have a family with someone." Sarandon's early relationships. Before the media frenzy surrounding her later years, Susan Sarandon's early relationships set the stage for the public's fascination with her love life. Born Susan Abigail Tomlin, she married actor Chris Sarandon in 1967. They met at the Catholic University of America, where both were studying drama. Their marriage lasted until 1979, during which time she adopted his surname, keeping it even after their divorce. During the late 1970s, Sarandon's career began to take off with roles in films like The Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975, and Pretty Baby, 1978. Around this time, rumors started to emerge about potential off-screen romances. One significant relationship was with director Louis Malle, whom she met while working on Pretty Baby. Although their relationship was professional, it fueled speculation in the tabloids. Post-divorce, she briefly dated actor Sean Penn in the early 1980s. The relationship was kept relatively private, with little media coverage compared to her later relationships. However, the intrigue surrounding her personal life was already beginning to build. In 1983, she starred in The Hunger, a film that paired her with David Bowie. Their on-screen chemistry sparked rumors of an off-screen romance. These rumors were largely unfounded, as she later clarified in interviews that their relationship was strictly professional and respectful. Her next notable relationship was with Italian filmmaker Franco Amuri, with whom she had a daughter, Ava Amuri, in 1985. This relationship was marked by mutual respect and collaboration, with Amuri directing Sarandon in the film Quiet Chaos, 1988. The couple's decision to co-parent amicably after their separation set a positive example in Hollywood. Despite the end of her marriage and various relationships, Sarandon's career continued to flourish. She earned critical acclaim and an Oscar nomination for her role in Atlantic City, 1980, followed by standout performances in The Witches of Eastwick, 1987, and Bull Durham, 1988. These successes solidified her status as a leading actress in Hollywood and kept her in the public eye. Throughout these years, Sarandon's personal life remained a topic of interest. Her decision to keep her surname post-divorce was seen as a symbol of her independence and strength. Her ability to balance a successful career with motherhood also earned her admiration. In a 1995 interview with the New York Times, she reflected on her early years and relationships, saying, "Each relationship taught me something valuable about myself and my journey. I have no regrets." This perspective highlighted her resilience and growth, which resonated with many of her fans. The iconic romance with Tim Robbins. In 1988, Susan Sarandon's life took a pivotal turn when she met Tim Robbins on the set of Bull Durham. Their chemistry was undeniable, both on and off screen, and it wasn't long before their relationship became a focal point for Hollywood gossip. Their romance was considered unconventional, primarily due to the 12-year age difference, but that did not deter them. Instead, their relationship flourished in the public eye, creating a power couple dynamic that was rare in Hollywood. The media's fascination with their relationship was fueled by their decision to live together and raise a family without getting married. In 1989, their first son, Jack Henry Robbins, was born. This joyous occasion was covered extensively by the press, with many applauding their decision to start a family despite not being legally wed. 3 years later, they welcomed their second son, Miles Guthrie Robbins, further solidifying their partnership. Throughout the 1990s, Sarandon and Robbins were frequently seen at industry events, award shows, and political rallies, often using their platform to advocate for social and political causes. They collaborated on several projects, including the critically acclaimed film Dead Man Walking in 1995, which Robbins directed and for which Sarandon won the Academy Award for Best Actress. Their professional collaboration was as celebrated as their personal relationship, making them one of Hollywood's most influential couples. Despite their high-profile status, they managed to keep their private life relatively shielded from the public. However, rumors about their relationship were inevitable. Stories of alleged affairs and disagreements surfaced from time to time, but they often addressed these with humor and dismissiveness. In a 1999 interview with The Guardian, Sarandon joked about the rumors, saying, "It's always amusing to read about your own affairs in the paper." The couple's commitment to each other was evident in their shared projects and public appearances. However, in 2009, after 23 years together, they announced their separation. The news came as a shock to many, sparking a wave of speculation about the reasons behind the split. The media speculated extensively, with many attributing the breakup to various unsubstantiated rumors of infidelity and growing apart. In the aftermath, both maintained a dignified silence, focusing on their careers and children. In a 2010 interview with The Telegraph, Sarandon reflected on their time together, stating, "It's been a journey. I think we both decided that it was time to move on and grow in different directions." The stirring speculation, Jonathan Bricklin. In 2010, Susan Sarandon's life took another interesting turn when she became involved in a new business venture. She co-founded Spin, a chain of ping-pong clubs, with Jonathan Bricklin and other partners. Bricklin, significantly younger than her, soon became the center of new speculation about her love life. Their professional relationship quickly turned into a close personal bond, leading to rampant rumors about a romantic involvement. At the time, Bricklin was in his early 30s, making the age difference a hot topic for tabloids. The media eagerly pounced on their public appearances and business interactions, often insinuating more than just a friendship and business partnership. Bricklin himself was not a typical Hollywood figure. The son of Malcolm Bricklin, an entrepreneur famous for bringing Subaru to America, Jonathan had a different background than most of her previous partners. This difference added another layer of intrigue to their relationship. Despite the constant media attention, both Sarandon and Bricklin were reluctant to label their relationship, often avoiding direct answers when asked by reporters. In a 2014 interview with the Daily Beast, Sarandon addressed the rumors, stating, "I don't think there's anything odd about our relationship. I think we're in each other's lives for the right reasons." This quote did little to quell the gossip, as media outlets continued to speculate about the nature of their bond. The pair were often seen together at spin events, red carpet appearances, and social gatherings, feeding the rumor mill. Despite this, they maintained a professional demeanor, focusing on their shared passion for promoting spin. Their collaboration brought ping pong into the spotlight, transforming it from a casual pastime into a trendy social activity. In 2015, during an appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Sarandon mentioned her relationship with Bricklin without giving away too much detail. She described him as a very special person in her life, but did not confirm nor deny the romantic speculations. This ambiguity only fueled more curiosity and media attention. Their dynamic was further complicated by Sarandon's candid discussions about her views on love and relationships. She often spoke about the fluidity of relationships and the importance of personal growth. In a 2016 interview with AARP, she said, "I don't think relationships should be static. People grow and change, and it's important to allow each other the space to do that." Despite their close relationship, Sarandon and Bricklin eventually parted ways. By 2018, reports indicated that they had amicably separated, choosing to focus on their individual paths. Hollywood and gossip, the pressure cooker. Her career has long been intertwined with the relentless scrutiny of Hollywood gossip. This environment has often amplified personal details, turning them into public spectacles. The media's obsession with her love life is emblematic of a broader cultural fascination with celebrity relationships. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, tabloids thrived on sensational headlines. For Sarandon, this meant constant speculation about her personal relationships. Every public appearance, co-star interaction, and personal decision was fodder for the gossip mills. This relentless attention created an atmosphere where maintaining privacy was nearly impossible. One of the most notable aspects of this pressure cooker environment is the persistence of rumors, even in the absence of concrete evidence. The media often clings to the slightest hint of scandal, perpetuating stories that may have little basis in reality. For instance, her interactions with younger co-stars and business partners were regularly blown out of proportion. Hollywood's culture of gossip is also fueled by the industry's competitive nature. Publicists, agents, and even peers sometimes contribute to the rumor mill, either intentionally or inadvertently. For Sarandon, who has always been candid about her views on love and relationships, this environment was particularly challenging. Her openness often led to misinterpretations and exaggerated stories. In a 2006 interview with Vanity Fair, she commented on the constant speculation, saying, "People love a good story, and sometimes the truth isn't as interesting. I've learned to take it with a grain of salt." The pressure cooker environment of Hollywood also impacts the relationships themselves. The intense scrutiny constrain even the strongest partnerships. For Sarandon and Robbins, maintaining a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos was crucial. They often shielded their children from the public eye and focused on their shared values and interests. Post-separation, the gossip machine didn't slow down. Her association with Jonathan Bricklin and other younger men continued to spark rumors. Each new project or public appearance was analyzed for potential romantic undertones, perpetuating the cycle of speculation. The turning point. Susan speaks out. In 2014, Susan Sarandon reached a breaking point with the constant speculation about her personal life. Tired of the relentless rumors, she decided to address the gossip head-on. This marked a significant turning point in how she interacted with the media and the public regarding her relationships. The opportunity came during an interview with the Daily Beast. Known for her candidness, she used this platform to set the record straight about her relationship with Jonathan Bricklin. In a straightforward manner, she stated, "I don't think there's anything odd about our relationship. I think we're in each other's lives for the right reasons." This statement was one of the few times she directly addressed the rumors. This interview was a bold move. For years, Sarandon had avoided giving direct answers about her personal life, preferring to keep her private affairs out of the spotlight. By breaking her silence, she took control of the narrative. The media's response was a mixture of surprise and curiosity, with many outlets running stories that quoted her interview. Following this, she continued to speak openly about her views on relationships in various interviews. In a 2015 appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she elaborated on her relationship philosophy, emphasizing the importance of personal growth and the fluidity of relationships. She remarked, "I think you can have a relationship with somebody that changes over time, and you have to be open to that." Another significant moment came in a 2016 interview with AARP, where she discussed her breakup with Tim Robbins and her relationship with Brooklyn. She reflected on her journey, saying, "Relationships evolve, and I think it's important to allow yourself the space to grow. Sometimes that means moving in different directions." Her reflections provided a more nuanced understanding of her personal life, countering the simplistic and often sensational narratives previously presented. Despite her efforts, the media's fascination with her love life persisted. However, by speaking out, she managed to humanize herself in the eyes of the public. Her candidness and introspection resonated with many, shifting the focus from scandalous rumors to genuine personal growth and self-awareness. Her decision to address the rumors head-on was a strategic move. It allowed her to reclaim her narrative and present her side of the story. This approach not only mitigated some of the negative press, but also garnered respect from fans and media alike for her honesty and strength. In the years following her decision to speak out, she continued to be a prominent figure in Hollywood, balancing her career with her personal life. Her openness about her relationships and the challenges of maintaining them under public scrutiny provided a fresh perspective on the often one-dimensional portrayal of celebrities in the media. Public reaction and media coverage. Following her 2014 interview with the Daily Beast, social media buzzed with discussions about Susan Sarandon's comments. Fans and critics alike took to Twitter and Facebook, praising her honesty and control over the narrative. One fan tweeted, "Susan Sarandon is a class act, speaking her truth with grace and dignity." Mainstream media quickly picked up the story. Major outlets like People, Entertainment Weekly, and Vanity Fair ran articles quoting her statements. Some praised her forthrightness, while others continued to speculate about her relationships despite her clarifications. Entertainment Weekly ran a piece titled, "Susan Sarandon Sets the Record Straight," highlighting her comments and providing context about her relationships with Tim Robbins and Jonathan Brooklyn. People magazine focused on her views on relationships and personal growth, painting a picture of a strong, independent woman navigating love and fame. Vanity Fair explored the broader implications of her statements, suggesting that her candidness could influence other celebrities to be more transparent. Despite the generally positive coverage, some outlets continued to speculate. Tabloids like the National Enquirer and Star magazine ran stories filled with conjecture, often ignoring Sarandon's statements and focusing on sensational headlines. These articles perpetuated old rumors and introduced new ones, demonstrating the persistent nature of celebrity gossip. Public reaction to these tabloid stories was mixed. While some readers enjoyed the scandalous nature of the articles, others criticized the publications for their lack of respect and disregard for Sarandon's own words. The ongoing speculation underscored the challenges celebrities face in controlling their narratives. Amidst the media frenzy, Sarandon's fans remained supportive. Online forums and fan sites buzzed with discussions about her bravery and authenticity. Many shared personal anecdotes about how her films and public persona had impacted their lives. This outpouring of support reinforced her status as a beloved figure in Hollywood. In subsequent public appearances, she continued to handle questions about her personal life with poise. During a 2015 interview on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she reiterated her views on relationships, further endearing herself to audiences. Ellen praised her for being open and honest, a sentiment echoed by many viewers. Susan's perspective on love and relationships. She has always been candid about her personal views on love and relationships, challenging traditional Hollywood norms with her refreshing and unconventional perspective. She emphasizes the importance of personal growth and the fluid nature of relationships. In a 2016 interview with AARP, she stated, I believe that relationships should be about mutual growth. People evolve, and sometimes they evolve together, sometimes apart, reflecting her understanding that relationships are dynamic and can change over time. Sarandon often speaks about the importance of maintaining independence within a relationship. In a 2014 interview with the Daily Beast, she said, "Being with someone doesn't mean losing yourself. It's about supporting each other's growth and finding a balance," encapsulating her approach to individuality within partnerships. Her relationship with Tim Robbins, which lasted over 2 decades, exemplifies her commitment to these principles. Despite their separation, both have spoken positively about their time together and their decision to part ways. In a 2010 interview with The Telegraph, she reflected, "We had a great run. Sometimes the best way to honor a relationship is to recognize when it's time to move on." Her views on non-traditional relationships extend to her later years. Her involvement with Jonathan Bricklin, a significantly younger man, challenged societal norms and sparked debate. Sarandon remained unapologetic, highlighting the importance of connection over societal expectations. Sarandon's openness about her relationships includes discussing their challenges and misunderstandings. In a 2017 interview with Vogue, she remarked, "Relationships are complex. They're not always easy, but they're an essential part of our growth. The key is to stay true to yourself and communicate openly." Susan has learned that love is not just about the fairy tale romance, but about the quiet, steadfast moments of support and compassion. She realizes that relationships are a delicate balance of giving and receiving, requiring patience, trust, and a willingness to grow together.
Hollywood has seen many stars, but there are some that are just unforgettable. Lonnie Anderson, the sensational TV star who made waves in the 70s, is a clear example of a Hollywood star who is both irreplaceable and unforgettable. From 1966 to date, Lonnie has shown the world what it means to be a phenomenal actress. Over the years, she has risen above the storms of life and etched her name in the history of Hollywood. She may be in her 70s right now, but she looks nothing like her age, and it may surprise you to know that she is still acting. This gorgeous and talented actress has led a life that is worth emulating, and these mind-blowing facts about her will surely leave you shocked and inspired at the same time. Why she decided to teach. In the 70s and 80s, Lonnie was living the life of a superstar, and she was loving it. However, most people don't know what her life looked like before the fame. In her early 20s, she made certain decisions that left her on the brink of poverty, and she had no choice but to take on certain jobs to support herself and her baby. See, Lonnie Anderson has always been one to turn lemons into lemonades, and her attitude towards a broken marriage was not any different. Before she got famous, the actress was living a normal life. Sure, she had the makings of a superstar, but she had not caught the acting bug yet. So her focus at the time was building a family with a man she had fallen in love with, Bruce Hasselberg. The couple later welcomed a beautiful daughter, but things quickly went sour. Their marriage ended in a divorce before Lonnie even turned 21, and she was left to fend for herself and her baby. This was one of the most trying times in Lonnie's life, especially because she didn't plan on ending up alone at such a young age with such a huge responsibility. However, instead of running away from her problems, she decides to face the situation head-on. Lonnie made up her mind to do everything in her power to fend for her child, even if it meant taking on a teaching job. Sure, she was young, but she was also determined to build a better life for herself. The marriage may have ended, but she soon realized that she had her whole life ahead of her and she had the power to transform her life. So she took on a teaching position and poured her heart into it. As she was teaching, she also used the opportunity to complete college, knowing well that being educated will open more doors for her in future. Soon enough, she was able to earn enough to take care of herself and provide her daughter's basic needs. This phase of her life is not one that a lot of people know about, but it surely contributed to making her the resilient person she is known as today. Since then, Lonnie has taken every challenge that life has thrown her way and turned it around for her good. She is truly a fighter, and success is never far from people like her. More than a sex symbol. In an industry where beauty is an acceptable currency, Lonnie wanted to offer more than just beauty.
The world saw her as a sex symbol, but she wanted more for herself. There is no denying that Lonnie Anderson was on top of the world in the peak years of her career, and her looks contributed greatly to her success. Her timeless beauty possessed an ethereal allure with her cascading golden locks, sparkling azure eyes that mirrored the vast skies of admiration, and a captivating smile that could light up the darkest rooms. Her curvaceous silhouette and graceful demeanor enchanted audiences and made it easy for her to stay relevant at a time when physical attractiveness was in high demand in the industry. When her star began to rise, people fell in love with her for a lot of reasons. Some loved her acting skills, while others fell in love with her looks. Her presence on screens reminded people of the likes of Jane Mansfield and Marilyn Monroe, and as much as she loved being associated with those names, there was a part of her that wanted more. Being seen as a sex symbol got her a lot of fame and attention, but she knew that she had more to offer, so she decided to do everything in her power to show her fans that her skills were mind-blowing. As her career progressed, she started working towards becoming a more versatile actress and being loved for more than just her physical looks. With every role she took on, she strategically showcased her diverse skills and made career decisions that allowed her to show the world what she was capable of. Unlike a lot of actresses who were not able to break free from the sex symbol tag, Lonnie strategically worked on her career until people began to see beyond her looks and endowed body. These days, when her name is mentioned in a room, people remember her as the phenomenal actress who embodied diverse roles and gave her fans performances they will never forget. It is impossible to refer to her as just a sex symbol because she has made it clear to the world that she is way more than that. She is a versatile actress who can transform herself into different characters in different genres. From drama to comedy and many more genres, Lonnie Anderson has been unstoppable over the years. You would agree that it takes a certain level of stubbornness and persistence for a celebrity to change the image that people have of them. Lonnie Anderson stopped at nothing till she became the actress that she dreamed of becoming, and her tenacity inspires several women till date. Bold advocate. When she came into the industry, it wasn't just about the glitz and glam for her. She had her eyes set on more. She wasn't just here to be a famous actress. She wanted to be a trailblazer, a force to be reckoned with in the industry. One look at Lonnie Anderson's career exploits, and one can tell that the actress has always been determined to empower women and speak up when she felt like women were treated unfairly. She was not just your average Hollywood starlet, but a fierce advocate for equal opportunities and a champion for women everywhere. From the pinnacle of her career to the present day, she's been on a relentless mission to support and uplift her fellow women. It's like she took a superhero oath to fight for equality, and boy, did she deliver. There is no denying that unequal pay has been the thorn in the side of the entertainment industry for ages. But when Lonnie Anderson strolled in, she wasn't having any of it. She rolled up her sleeves, fixed her gaze on the inequality bullseye, and declared war. Lonnie became a trailblazer in demanding equal pay, making waves as one of the first female celebs to throw down the gauntlet on WKRP in Cincinnati. In a world where the pay gap was as wide as the Grand Canyon, Lonnie stood tall and said, "Enough is enough." But she didn't just stop at demanding equal pay. She became a beacon of empowerment for women everywhere. Her actions echoed louder than any script she ever delivered. Lonnie Anderson wasn't just another actress. She was a fierce advocate for change, a catalyst for a shift in the status quo. Fast forward to today, and Lonnie's legacy is etched in the annals of Hollywood. She's not just a name on the Walk of Fame, she's a symbol of resilience, a reminder that one person can spark a revolution. In a world where inequality still rears its ugly head, Lonnie Anderson, her life shows what happens when a woman possesses the power of determination, when a woman refuses to let the spotlight dim the fire within her. She raises awareness for cancer research and COPD. If there is someone who believes that her voice makes a difference, it's Lonnie Anderson. Over the years, the actress has spoken boldly and supported causes that matter to her regardless of what people have said. Clearly, there's so much more to this lady than meets the eye. Not many people know this about the actress, but Lonnie, the powerhouse herself, boldly stepped into the ring against breast cancer, and she beat it. Yep, she didn't just beat it, she gave it a knockout punch. But instead of just sipping margaritas by the beach after her victory, she decided to dive headfirst into the world of advocacy. This incredible woman raised her voice like a rock star for cancer research. She became a beacon of hope, shining a light on the importance of awareness. And let's not forget the cold, hard cash needed to fund the research that can save lives. She selflessly donated to this cause. She would have easily used the money to acquire luxurious items for herself, just like a lot of celebrities do, but she decided that it was better to put her funds into a project that would better the lives of others and help people that have cancer. Knowing that she was contributing to cancer research gave her a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Interestingly, Lonnie Anderson didn't stop at just one fight. Nope, she grabbed the mic again, this time for COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out her parents were in a serious relationship with cigarettes, and it affected their health so much that they ended up with COPD. Lonnie saw the toll it took on her family, and she made up her mind not to let others go through what her folks endured. It's safe to say that Lonnie Anderson is the unsung hero, fighting battles off-screen, using her voice not just to entertain, but to make a real difference in the world. Whether it's cancer or COPD, she's there, a fierce advocate with a heart as big as Hollywood. She's proving that a glamorous Hollywood life can come with a side of meaningful impact. Resilient through the storms. Now, we've all heard tales of celebrities who crumble under the weight of fame, but not Lonnie. She's got a determination and perseverance that could give anyone in the entertainment industry a run for their money. The road she's traveled has been anything but smooth, marked by challenges and a fair share of highly publicized, tumultuous relationships that had the tabloids working overtime. One of the most challenging phases of her life was her high-profile marriage to Reynolds in 1988. It started off like a Hollywood fairy tale, blissful moments, an adopted son named Quentin, but the script quickly flipped. The fairy tale turned into a roller coaster hurtling towards a nasty divorce in 1993 that left both stars with their reputations hanging by a thread. And you know what the beautiful thing is? Despite the relentless scrutiny and public fallout, Lonnie Anderson didn't crumble. Nope, not her. She found a way to rise above it all, navigating through the stormy seas of tabloid chaos with an admirable grace. Imagine the headlines, the whispers, the judgment. It's enough to shake anyone to their core, but not Lonnie. She stood tall, weathering the storms of tumultuous marriages and personal problems with a resilience that's truly awe-inspiring. Her career may have faced some turbulence along the way, but she emerged from the chaos with her spirit unbroken. She is like an unsinkable ship sailing through the unpredictable waters of fame. Through marriages that made headlines and personal struggles that would make anyone falter, she not only endured, but triumphed. In a town where the spotlight can burn, Lonnie's resilience shines like a beacon, proving that sometimes the most beautiful stars are the ones that withstand the toughest storms. This Hollywood legend has shown us the true meaning of grace under pressure. She spread her wings. Many people know Lonnie as an actress, but not many people know that this sensational actress has also worked as a producer. From the very beginning of her career, Lonnie made a conscious effort to stand out. In a town where everyone's vying for the spotlight, she found her own spotlight and shone brilliantly. It wasn't just about the looks or the charisma. It was about that extra something that made Lonnie uniquely herself. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Lonnie Anderson wasn't content with just being in front of the camera. No, she decided to spread her wings and venture into the world of production. Now that takes guts. Imagine stepping out of the comfort zone of being a celebrated actress to take charge behind the scenes. One of her notable ventures into production was the TV movie White Hot: The Mysterious Murder of Thelma Todd, where she not only starred, but also wore the producer's hat. It's one thing to take on a challenging role, but it's a whole different ballgame to oversee the entire production. Yet, Lonnie wasn't one to shy away from challenges. She embraced them. But Lonnie Anderson didn't stop there. She went on to produce another TV movie titled Sorry, Wrong Number, showcasing not only her acting prowess, but also her knack for bringing compelling stories to the screen. It's a bold move to invest not just your talent, but your time and resources into creating your own works. And that's exactly what Lonnie did. And let's not forget her foray into sitcom production with Easy Street. It's like she said, "Why settle for just one role when I can wear multiple hats?" She took charge, made decisions, and brought her creative vision to life. Lonnie Anderson didn't just follow the Hollywood script, she wrote her own. From captivating audiences as an actress to making waves as a producer, she's proven that true greatness lies in the courage to stand out and take charge. This Hollywood icon is not just a star on the screen, but a force behind it, rewriting the rules and leaving her mark in the industry. Staying relevant in the industry. A lot of people believe that when an actress gets older, it becomes difficult for such an actress to survive in the industry. This is because younger actresses are usually prioritized when it comes to acting opportunities, but Lonnie's story has been different over the years, and at over 78 years young, Lonnie is still very much a force to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry. Now, that's not just impressive, it's downright inspiring. She hasn't let age become a roadblock. Instead, she's turned it into a stepping stone to showcase that talent knows no expiration date. While others might be contemplating retirement, Lonnie remains an active and vibrant presence in the industry. She has refused to slow down because there's still so much to explore and share. Her commitment to her craft is nothing short of admirable. What's even more remarkable is that she's not just sitting pretty, she's diving headfirst into various projects. Television appearances? Check. Charity events? Absolutely. Lonnie Anderson isn't just relevant. She's an integral part of the entertainment landscape, proving that age is but a number. Interestingly, she's slated to feature in a Lifetime film, Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas. Lonnie isn't just making appearances, she's securing leading roles and keeping the audience hooked with her undeniable charm and talent. In a world that often dismisses seasoned actresses, Lonnie Anderson is a beacon of resilience and tenacity. She's showing the industry and the world that there's so much more to offer beyond the stereotypes associated with age. Every day that passes by, she proves that staying relevant isn't about fighting against time, but dancing with it, embracing every chapter of life, and showing that the spotlight belongs to those who continue to shine, no matter how many candles are on their birthday cake. A selfless philanthropist. You know, Lonnie Anderson isn't just a fantastic actress, she's got a heart of gold too. One mind-blowing fact about her is that she's been making a real impact through her philanthropic endeavors. It's not just about the glitz and glamour of Hollywood for her. She's dedicated to making a positive difference. One shining example of her commitment is the Celebrity Recognition Award she received from the American Cancer Society. Now picture this, Lonnie, not just gracing our screens with her talent, but also being recognized for her efforts in the fight against cancer. This award isn't just a shiny trophy, it represents the tireless work she's put into supporting cancer-related causes. It's like a big thumbs up from the universe, acknowledging her significant contributions. You can almost see her not just as a TV icon, but as a real-life hero, standing up for something bigger than herself. And it doesn't stop there. Lonnie's involvement in philanthropy goes beyond awards and recognition. She's actively working to make the world a better place, showing that kindness is just as glamorous as any Hollywood premiere. It's like she's using her fame not just to shine in the spotlight, but also to shine a light on important causes. Lonnie Anderson is not just a talented actress, but also a compassionate soul making waves in the world of philanthropy. It's a side of her that adds an extra layer of awe and admiration to the person we see on our screens. And who knows, maybe she's inspiring others to take up the mantle of doing good in their own way. Lonnie is not just entertaining us, but also for making the world a better place, one award and one act of kindness at a time. She was honored in a special way. In 1986, Lonnie Anderson, the actress we all know and love, got the Hollywood treatment. No, not another blockbuster movie. Something even more iconic. she got her very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, imagine strolling down that legendary sidewalk, surrounded by the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown. As you walk, you spot Lonnie's star shining brightly among the countless others. It's like a glittering constellation in the concrete jungle of Hollywood, and she earned her place there. This prestigious honor showed her outstanding contributions to the entertainment industry. It's not just about being a talented actress, it's about leaving an indelible mark that stands the test of time, and Lonnie did just that. So that star isn't just a piece of sidewalk bling, it's a symbol of a career that's captured our hearts and stood out in the vast landscape of showbiz. It's like a permanent applause for all those unforgettable moments she shared with us on screen. Getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is like etching your name in the history of Hollywood, and Lonnie Anderson did it in style. Her career has spanned for over 7 decades. Imagine the entertainment industry as a glamorous, high-stakes arena where dreams are chased and hearts are broken. Many aspire to enter, but only a few make it through the audition room, and even fewer manage to stay relevant for decades. Lonnie Anderson? Well, she's one of those few who not only entered the scene, but left a remarkable legacy, carving a path that's lasted over 7 decades. To survive and thrive in the entertainment industry is like navigating a roller coaster of highs and lows, and Lonnie's career is the embodiment of this wild ride. It's not just about talent, it's about the tenacity to weather the storms, the patience to endure the slow climbs, and the courage to keep pushing forward when the spotlight seems a distant dream. Think about it, she didn't just burst onto the scene and disappear after a brief moment of fame. Nope. When the going got tough, Lonnie kept on pushing. Whether it was the early days when her career was taking baby steps or the pinnacle of her fame, she demonstrated an unparalleled determination to not just survive but thrive. And here's the beauty of it, she didn't just rest on her laurels once she hit the big time. Instead, she used her newfound fame to develop the skills and character traits necessary to sustain her position in the industry. It's like she turned every challenge into an opportunity for growth, evolving with the industry and staying relevant through the ever-changing tides of showbiz. Lonnie Anderson's career is not just a resume, it's a saga of passion, persistence, and an unwavering commitment to the craft. It's safe to say that she's a living legend.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? In 1930s Hollywood, Claudette Colbert's star power collided with a director's unyielding vision, creating a behind-the-scenes nightmare that threatened to overshadow the very film they were making. From It Happened One Night to on-set tensions, Claudette Colbert's journey through Hollywood wasn't always smooth sailing. The casting of Claudette Colbert. In 1934, Paramount Pictures began production on The Gilded Lily, a romantic comedy directed by Wesley Ruggles. The studio executives had their sights set on Claudette Colbert for the lead role of Marilyn David. Colbert, 31 at the time, was riding high on the success of It Happened One Night, which would later earn her an Academy Award. Ruggles, known for his work on Cimarron, 1931, initially welcomed the idea of working with the rising star. The film's budget was set at $600,000, a considerable sum for the era. Paramount's head of production, Emmanuel Cohen, personally oversaw the casting process. On July 15, 1934, Colbert signed the contract for The Gilded Lily, agreeing to a salary of $25,000 for 8 weeks of work. The deal also included a clause guaranteeing her top billing and approval of all publicity photographs. Production was scheduled to begin on September 3, 1934, at Paramount's Hollywood studio. The script, penned by Claude Binion, underwent several revisions to tailor the role to Colbert's strengths. Fred MacMurray was cast as the male lead, marking his first starring role in a feature film. As pre-production ramped up, the costume department, led by Travis Banton, began creating elaborate gowns for Colbert. The actress was known for her meticulous attention to wardrobe, often requesting multiple fittings and alterations. First signs of tension. The first table read for The Gilded Lily took place on August 20, 1934. Present were Ruggles, Colbert, MacMurray, and supporting cast members Ray Milland and C. Aubrey Smith.
Initially, the atmosphere was cordial, with Ruggles praising Colbert's interpretation of her character. However, tensions began to simmer during the second week of rehearsals. On August 29th, Ruggles and Colbert clashed over the interpretation of a key scene. She insisted on playing it for laughs, while Ruggles envisioned a more dramatic approach. The production's assistant director, James Hogan, noted in his daily report, "Disagreement between director and star, resolution pending." This marked the first official acknowledgement of discord on set. September 3rd arrived and principal photography commenced. The first day's shooting went smoothly, with 54 setups completed. However, on September 5th, issues arose when Ruggles attempted to film Colbert from her right side. The actress, famous for favoring her left profile, refused to be shot from that angle. The resulting argument delayed production for 2 hours. Paramount's head of photography, Victor Milner, was called in to mediate. A compromise was reached, but the incident left both Ruggles and Colbert frustrated. By the end of the first week of filming, the production was already 1 day behind schedule. Studio executives began to take notice, with Cohen requesting daily progress reports from Ruggles. Clashing visions. As The Gilded Lily entered its second week of production, the gulf between Ruggles and Colbert's creative visions widened. On September 10, 1934, they butted heads over a crucial montage sequence. Ruggles wanted to use experimental camera techniques, while Colbert advocated for a more traditional approach. The disagreement escalated to the point where Cohen had to intervene. After a tense 2-hour meeting in his office, a compromise was reached. The montage would be shot both ways, with the final decision to be made in the editing room. This resolution set a dangerous precedent, effectively undermining Ruggles' authority as director. The crew began to notice the shift in dynamics, with some taking sides. Cinematographer Victor Milner later recalled, "The set became a battleground of egos." On September 15th, another clash occurred over dialogue delivery. Colbert insisted on altering her lines, claiming they didn't suit her character. Ruggles, frustrated by the constant changes, sarcastically quipped, "Perhaps Miss Colbert would like to direct the picture herself." The remark, overheard by several crew members, quickly spread through the studio grapevine. Colbert responded by retreating to her dressing room for 3 hours, causing further delays. By September 20th, the production was 4 days behind schedule and $50,000 over budget. Cohen called an emergency meeting with Ruggles, demanding explanations and solutions. The director, feeling cornered, reluctantly agreed to cede more creative control to Colbert in an attempt to smooth things over. On-set incidents. The third week of filming The Gilded Lily brought a series of incidents that further strained the relationship between Ruggles and Colbert. On September 24, 1934, during a pivotal ballroom scene, Colbert repeatedly stumbled over her lines. After the 7th take, Ruggles lost his patience and called for a break. Overhearing Ruggles muttering about "amateur hour," Colbert confronted him. The ensuing argument was so heated that Fred McMurray had to physically step between them. Production halted for the remainder of the day, costing an estimated $15,000 in lost time and resources. 2 days later, on September 26th, tensions flared again during a costume fitting. Colbert insisted on changes to a gown designed by Travis Banton, claiming it didn't flatter her figure. Ruggles, who had approved the original design, saw this as another challenge to his authority. The director stormed off the set, leaving his assistant to oversee the remaining scenes for the day. The breaking point came on October 1st when filming a crucial emotional scene. After 12 takes, Ruggles was still unsatisfied with Colbert's performance. In a moment of frustration, he shouted, "For God's sake, can't you act?" The outburst left the entire crew in shocked silence. Colbert, visibly shaken, left the set immediately. She didn't return for 2 days, sending her agent to negotiate with the studio. The production fell a full week behind schedule, and rumors began circulating that Paramount might replace Ruggles to salvage the project. The director's complaints. By mid-October 1934, Wesley Ruggles' frustrations with Claudette Colbert and the production of The Gilded Lily reached a boiling point. In a private memo to Paramount executive Emmanuel Cohen, dated October 15th, Ruggles laid out his grievances in stark terms. The director wrote, "Working with Miss Colbert has become an exercise in futility. Her constant demands for script changes, camera angles, and costume alterations have made it impossible to maintain any semblance of directorial vision. Ruggles went on to detail specific instances of conflict. He cited October 8th when Colbert insisted on rewriting a key monologue just minutes before filming. The change required hastily adjusting lighting and camera setups, adding 3 hours to the day's schedule. Another point of contention was Colbert's insistence on multiple takes for even the simplest scenes. On October 12th, a straightforward walking shot required 18 takes due to the actress's dissatisfaction with her gait. This perfectionism pushed the day's filming past midnight, incurring significant overtime costs. Ruggles also complained about Colbert's entourage, which had grown to include a personal hairstylist, makeup artist, and acting coach. Their constant presence on set, he argued, created a circus-like atmosphere that undermined his authority. The director's frustrations weren't limited to private correspondence. During an interview with the trade publication Variety on October 20th, Ruggles made thinly veiled comments about the challenges of working with temperamental stars. While he didn't name Colbert directly, industry insiders quickly connected the dots. Colbert, for her part, remained publicly silent on the matter. However, her agent issued a statement on October 22nd defending the actress's professionalism and commitment to quality. The statement read in part, "Miss Colbert's only crime is her dedication to delivering the best possible performance for the audience." As October drew to a close, The Gilded Lily was now 3 weeks behind schedule and nearly $200,000 over budget. The strain was beginning to show on everyone involved, with crew members reporting a palpable sense of dread each morning as they arrived on set. Colbert's perspective. As tensions on the set of The Gilded Lily reached a fever pitch, Claudette Colbert finally broke her silence in early November 1934. In a private letter to her friend and fellow actress Carole Lombard, dated November 3rd, Colbert offered her side of the story. The letter, later acquired by film historian Robert Osborne, revealed Colbert's frustrations with Ruggles' directing style. She wrote, "Wesley seems more concerned with camera angles than performances. His lack of attention to character nuances is maddening." Colbert went on to describe an incident from October 29th when Ruggles insisted on a wide shot for an intimate dialogue scene. The actress argued that a close-up would better capture the emotional subtleties. The disagreement resulted in a 90-minute delay while they consulted with the cinematographer. On November 5th, during a rare interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Colbert carefully addressed the rumors of on-set discord. Without mentioning Ruggles by name, she stated, "Every film presents unique challenges. As artists, we sometimes have different visions of how to best tell the story." Colbert's makeup artist, Dot Ponadel, later recalled in her 1985 memoir, The Actress's Daily Struggles. Claudette would arrive on set full of enthusiasm, only to have it drained by endless arguments over the smallest details, Ponadel wrote. The actress's determination to maintain her famous left profile became a particular point of contention. On November 8th, a simple reverse shot took 7 hours to film because Colbert refused to turn her head to the right. Ruggles was overheard muttering, "I'm directing a film, not photographing a statue." Despite the conflicts, Colbert remained committed to the project. She often stayed late, reviewing the next day's scenes and suggesting script revisions. This dedication, however, further irritated Ruggles, who saw it as overstepping her role as an actress. Intervention from the studio. The ongoing conflict between Wesley Ruggles and Claudette Colbert finally forced Paramount Pictures to take decisive action in late November 1934. On November 20th, studio head Adolph Zukor called an emergency meeting with Emmanuel Cohen and production manager A.C. Martin. The meeting, which lasted over 4 hours, resulted in a series of interventions aimed at salvaging The Gilded Lily. First, Zukor dispatched veteran producer Arthur Hornblow Jr. to the set as a mediator. Hornblow's first day on set, November 22nd, coincided with a particularly heated argument over a costume change that had halted production for 3 hours. On November 25th, Cohen issued a memo to both Ruggles and Colbert, outlining new guidelines for the remainder of the shoot. The memo, later published in David Thompson's The Whole Equation, A History of Hollywood, stated, "Creative differences must be resolved within 30 minutes. If no agreement is reached, the scene will be shot both ways, with final decision reserved for post-production." This compromise initially seemed to ease tensions. On November 27th, the production completed 35 setups, the most productive day since filming began. However, the piece was short-lived. November 30th saw another blow-up when Ruggles attempted to cut a musical number that Colbert had spent weeks rehearsing. The ensuing argument became so heated that Hornblow had to physically separate the two. Production was halted for the day, costing an estimated $20,000. In a last-ditch effort to get the film back on track, Zukor made an unprecedented move. On December 3rd, he personally visited the set, the first time in over a decade that the studio head had intervened directly in a production. His presence had an immediate calming effect, with both Ruggles and Colbert on their best behavior. Zukor's visit resulted in a new shooting schedule, trimming 5 days from the remaining production time. He also mandated daily progress reports to be reviewed by Cohen each morning. Despite these measures, the damage to the working relationship between Ruggles and Colbert seemed irreparable. Fred MacMurray later recalled in a 1956 interview, "You could feel the chill in the air whenever they were on set together. It was like working in an icebox." Impact on the film's production. As The Gilded Lily entered its final weeks of production in December 1934, the impact of the Ruggles-Colbert conflict became increasingly evident. The film, originally scheduled for a 45-day shoot, had now stretched to 68 days and counting. On December 5th, the production's budget overrun hit $350,000, prompting a terse memo from Paramount's finance department. The memo, uncovered in a 2012 auction of studio documents, warned that any further overages would result in cuts to future projects. The extended schedule began to affect other productions on the Paramount lot. Sets for The Gilded Lily occupied 3 sound stages, forcing the studio to delay the start of 2 other films. This domino effect cost Paramount an estimated $50,000 in reshuffling fees and penalties. December 10th saw a particularly disastrous day of filming. A key scene between Colbert and MacMurray required 23 takes due to constant disagreements between the actress and director over blocking. By the end of the day, only 35 seconds of usable footage had been shot, at a cost of approximately $15,000. The strain began to show on the crew as well. On December 13th, 3 crew members quit, citing the toxic work environment. Their departure forced a day-long delay while replacements were found and brought up to speed. Ruggles, feeling increasingly cornered, began to make unilateral decisions without consulting Colbert. On December 15th, he ordered a complete rewrite of the film's climactic scene, much to Colbert's dismay. The actress threatened to walk off the set, only relenting after a 2-hour closed-door meeting with Arthur Hornblow Jr. In a desperate attempt to wrap production, Paramount authorized 6 consecutive days of overtime shooting from December 18th, 23. This marathon session, which saw the cast and crew working up to 18 hours a day, finally brought principal photography to a close. The film's editor, Otho Lovering, later commented in Premiere magazine, "I've never seen such a hodgepodge of footage. Continuity was a nightmare, with Colbert's hairstyle and Ruggles' camera setups changing from shot to shot in the same scene." As the year drew to a close, The Gilded Lily had become a cautionary tale in Hollywood, exemplifying the pitfalls of star-director clashes and unchecked production issues. Wrapping up production. The final days of shooting The Gilded Lily in late December 1934 were a study of barely contained chaos. On December 26th, with only 2 scenes left to film, Ruggles and Colbert had their final on-set confrontation. The argument, overheard by several crew members, centered on the film's ending. Colbert insisted on a more ambiguous finale, while Ruggles pushed for a traditional happy ending. The dispute escalated to the point where Arthur Hornblow Jr. had to once again intervene. After a tense hour-long meeting in Hornblow's office, a compromise was reached. The scene would be shot both ways, with the final decision left to post-production. This resolution, while unsatisfying to both parties, allowed filming to conclude on December 28th, a full 40 days behind schedule. The wrap party, held on New Year's Eve at the Coconut Grove, was a subdued affair. Ruggles and Colbert avoided each other entirely, with the director leaving after just 30 minutes. Fred MacMurray, caught in the middle of the feud, later described the atmosphere as about as festive as a funeral. As the new year dawned, the post-production process began in earnest. Editor Otho Lovering faced the Herculean task of assembling a coherent narrative from the fractured footage. In his production diary, Lovering noted, "Never have I seen such a disparity between takes of the same scene. It's as if Ruggles and Colbert were making two different films. The first rough cut, screened for Paramount executives on January 15, 1935, ran an unwieldy 157 minutes. The reaction was mixed, with concerns raised about pacing and tonal inconsistencies. Emmanuel Cohen ordered extensive re-edits, setting off another round of battles between Ruggles and Colbert over which scenes to cut. Throughout January and early February, a series of test screenings were held in small towns across California. Audience reactions were tracked meticulously, with particular attention paid to scenes that had been contentious during filming. On February 10th, Adolf Zukor made the final call on the film's ending, opting for Ruggles' preferred version. Colbert, upon hearing the news, reportedly told her agent, "I'll never work with that man again, even if it means leaving Paramount." The final cut of The Gilded Lily, locked on February 15th, ran 115 minutes. The film had cost $1.2 million to produce, nearly double its original budget, making it one of the most expensive productions in Paramount's history to that point. The film's release and reception. The Gilded Lily premiered at the Paramount Theater in New York City on March 1, 1935. Despite the behind-the-scenes turmoil, the film opened to generally positive reviews. The New York Times critic Andre Senwald wrote, "Colbert shines with her usual charm, though at times the film feels at odds with itself." The film's box office performance was solid, if not spectacular. In its opening weekend, it grossed $78,000 across 32 theaters, a respectable figure for the time. However, given its inflated budget, Paramount executives were hoping for more. Trade publications picked up on the undercurrent of tension in the film. Variety's review noted, "At times, Ruggles' direction seems to be fighting against Colbert's performance, creating an odd dissonance in certain scenes." As the film rolled out across the country, audience reactions were mixed. While Colbert's star power drew crowds, exit polls conducted by Paramount found that viewers were split on the film's tone and pacing. In Chicago, 65% of surveyed audience members enjoyed the film, while in Los Angeles, the figure dropped to 52%. The film's troubled production began to make headlines. On March 10th, The Hollywood Reporter published an exposé detailing the on-set conflicts. While names were withheld, industry insiders had no trouble connecting the dots. Ruggles and Colbert, contractually obligated to promote the film, embarked on a tense press tour. Their joint interview on the popular radio show Hollywood Hotel on March 15th was notably awkward, with host Dick Powell struggling to maintain a jovial atmosphere. By the end of its theatrical run in May 1935, The Gilded Lily had grossed $2.1 million domestically. While this represented a profit for Paramount, the return was considerably lower than expected given the film's budget and star power. The film's legacy, however, extended beyond its box office performance. It marked a turning point in how studios managed director-star relationships. Paramount implemented new guidelines for conflict resolution on set, and other studios soon followed suit. For Ruggles and Colbert, the film represented a professional nadir. They never worked together again, with both quietly ensuring that their contracts excluded the possibility of future collaborations. In a 1960 interview, looking back on his career, Ruggles was asked about The Gilded Lily. His response was terse. "Some films are best left in the past." Colbert, for her part, rarely spoke of the film in later years, focusing instead on her subsequent successes. Diane Keaton's love life has always been shrouded in mystery and speculation. From her on-screen chemistry with legendary co-stars to secret romances that defied Hollywood norms, her story is one of passion, intrigue, and controversy. The beginning of an iconic career. Diane Hall Keaton was born on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, California. Growing up in an artistic family, her mother, Dorothy Deanne Keaton, won the Mrs. Los Angeles pageant, and her father, John Newton Ignatius Hall, was a real estate broker and civil engineer. Her journey into the limelight began with her education at Santa Ana High School, Santa Ana College, and the Neighborhood Playhouse in New York City. During this period, she changed her last name to Keaton, her mother's maiden name, to avoid confusion with another actress named Diane Hall. Her big break came with the 1968 Broadway musical Hair, where she caught the eye of director Woody Allen. This led to her starring in Allen's Broadway play Play It Again Sam in 1969, earning a Tony Award nomination. This collaboration marked the beginning of a significant professional and personal relationship. In 1972, Keaton was cast as Kay Adams in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. The film's immense success catapulted her to fame, grossing over $134 million domestically. She reprised her role in the sequels, further solidifying her place in Hollywood. Her portrayal of the quirky and endearing Annie Hall in Woody Allen's 1977 film of the same name brought her widespread acclaim. It was a critical and commercial success, earning over $38 million at the box office and winning the Academy Award for Best Actress. The film also won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay for Allen. Keaton's unique fashion style in Annie Hall, characterized by androgynous clothing and menswear-inspired outfits, sparked a fashion trend that resonated with audiences, making her an unexpected fashion icon. As her career progressed, Keaton continued to choose diverse roles, demonstrating her versatility. From dramatic performances in Reds, 1981, to comedic roles in Baby Boom, 1987, her ability to navigate different genres showcased her talent and range. Through the 1970s and 1980s, she became known for more than just her acting. Her relationships with high-profile co-stars and directors fueled media fascination, laying the groundwork for the rumors and speculations about her personal life that would follow her throughout her career. The Woody Allen romance. Her relationship with Woody Allen began on a professional level but quickly evolved into a deep personal connection. Their first encounter took place during the Broadway production of Play It Again Sam in 1969, a pivotal moment that marked the start of a long and fruitful collaboration. Allen, celebrated for his unique comedic style and neurotic on-screen persona, found an ideal match in Keaton, whose quirky charm and natural acting talent complemented his vision perfectly. Their professional chemistry was first showcased in the 1972 film Play It Again Sam, directed by Herbert Ross but penned by Allen. In the film, she played Linda Christie, a role that was well received by audiences and critics alike, further cementing her presence in the film industry. This project set the stage for what would become one of Hollywood's most iconic partnerships. The collaboration between Keaton and Allen reached its pinnacle with the 1977 film Annie Hall. This film was not only a critical and commercial success, but also a groundbreaking work that redefined romantic comedies. Despite their romantic involvement ending in the early 1970s, Keaton and Allen maintained a strong professional bond. They continued to work together on numerous projects throughout the following decades, including notable films such as Manhattan, 1979, and Radio Days, 1987. In interviews, Keaton has often expressed her gratitude for Allen's influence on her career. She has described him as both a mentor and a partner, someone who saw potential in her that she didn't see in herself. This sentiment was evident in a 2013 interview with The Guardian, where she stated, "Woody gave me my career." Despite the controversies surrounding Allen in later years, she remained professionally loyal to him, attributing much of her success to their early work together. Their collaboration extended well into the 1980s and 1990s, with Keaton starring in Allen's films such as Interiors, 1978, and Manhattan Murder Mystery, 1993. Keaton's relationship with Allen was characterized by deep mutual respect and admiration. In a 1977 interview with Newsweek, she spoke candidly about their relationship, saying, "Woody gave me the role of a lifetime. He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself." A complicated affair with Warren Beatty. Her relationship with Warren Beatty added another layer of intrigue to her life. They met in the late 1970s while working on the 1981 film Reds. Beatty, who starred in and directed the film, and Keaton, who played the lead female role, shared undeniable on-set chemistry. Their relationship, however, was marked by intensity and passion. Beatty, already a well-known Hollywood heartthrob by the time he met her, was known for his charisma and charm. His reputation as a ladies' man preceded him, and his numerous high-profile relationships had long been the subject of public fascination. The on-set chemistry between Beatty and Keaton was palpable, and it quickly translated into a real-life romance. Their relationship was characterized by deep intellectual conversations and shared creative pursuits. She once remarked in a 2016 interview with Vanity Fair, "Warren was mesmerizing. He had this incredible presence and energy." Despite their strong connection, their relationship was not without its challenges. Beatty's reputation and Keaton's fiercely independent nature often led to clashes. Beatty was known for his meticulous and sometimes controlling approach to filmmaking, while she valued her independence and had a clear vision of her own career path. These differences sometimes caused friction between them, but they also contributed to the passionate and dynamic nature of their relationship. The media closely followed their romance, capturing their public appearances and speculating about their private lives. Paparazzi often photographed the couple at high-profile events, fueling public interest and adding to the pressure on their relationship. Despite the constant media scrutiny, Beatty and Keaton managed to maintain a semblance of privacy, often deflecting questions about their relationship in interviews. Their time together was marked by both professional and personal collaboration. Beyond Reds, they explored other potential projects, although none materialized to the same extent. Their relationship lasted for a few years before eventually fizzling out. The breakup, while amicable, was a result of their differing life goals and the pressures of their respective careers. In her memoir, Then Again, she wrote, "Warren was a significant part of my life. He was brilliant, charismatic, and always full of ideas. But we were on different paths. Our relationship was passionate, but we both knew it wasn't meant to last." Al Pacino, a love that transcended films. Her relationship with Al Pacino began on the set of The Godfather, where they played Kay Adams and Michael Corleone. The film, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, became a cultural phenomenon, grossing over $134 million in the United States alone. The chemistry between Keaton and Pacino was palpable both on and off the screen. Their romance blossomed during the filming of The Godfather Part II in 1974. Keaton's portrayal of Kay, the wife who becomes increasingly disillusioned with her husband's criminal empire, mirrored some of the complexities of their real-life relationship. In a 2017 interview with People magazine, she recalled, "Al was unlike anyone I had ever known. Intense, dedicated, and incredibly talented. There was an undeniable connection between us." Despite their deep bond, the relationship faced numerous challenges. Pacino, known for his method acting and intense dedication to his craft, often found it difficult to balance his professional and personal life. Keaton, on the other hand, was equally committed to her career but longed for stability and companionship. This dichotomy led to several breakups and reconciliations over the years. Their relationship was marked by both passionate highs and tumultuous lows. In a 2004 interview with The New Yorker, Pacino described her as a significant person in my life. She was my muse, my confidant, and someone who always brought out the best in me. Their mutual respect and admiration for each other were evident, even during their most challenging times. The couple reunited for The Godfather Part III in 1990, reprising their iconic roles. The film, though not as critically acclaimed as its predecessors, still showcased their undeniable chemistry. Keaton's performance as Kay, now estranged from Michael but still deeply affected by him, resonated with audiences and critics alike. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Keaton and Pacino continued to navigate their on-again, off-again relationship. Their bond was further complicated by Pacino's reluctance to settle down and have children, a topic that she addressed candidly in her 2011 memoir, Then Again. She wrote, "I wanted a family, a sense of permanence. Al was always the love of my life, but he wasn't ready for that kind of commitment." Despite their eventual breakup, Keaton and Pacino remained close friends and continued to speak highly of each other in public. In a 2014 interview with The Guardian, she said, "Al will always be a part of me. Our relationship was intense and complicated, but it was also filled with love and respect." The brief affair with Sam Shepard. Her brief but intense relationship with playwright and actor Sam Shepard is another intriguing chapter in her romantic history. The two met in the early 1980s, a period marked by significant professional achievements for both. Sam Shepard, known for his brooding charisma and literary prowess, was already an acclaimed playwright by the time he met Keaton. His works, such as Buried Child and True West, had cemented his reputation in the theater world. Keaton, fresh from the success of films like Reds and Annie Hall, was at the peak of her career. Their meeting was a collision of two creative forces. Their affair was relatively short-lived, but left a lasting impression on both. In a 1983 interview with Rolling Stone, Keaton spoke about Shepard with admiration. "Sam is one of the most unique individuals I've ever met. He has this raw, untamed energy that is incredibly captivating," she said. Their relationship was marked by deep intellectual conversations and a shared passion for the arts. The couple worked together on the 1984 film Mrs. Soffel, directed by Gillian Armstrong. She played the title role while Shepard portrayed Ed Biddle, a convict involved in a daring prison escape. Their on-screen chemistry was palpable, reflecting the intensity of their off-screen relationship. Despite the film's mixed reviews, their performances were widely praised, showcasing their ability to bring out the best in each other. In her 2011 memoir, Then Again, Keaton reflected on her time with Shepard. "Sam was a whirlwind of creativity and emotion. Our time together was brief, but it was filled with passion and intellectual stimulation," she wrote. This period was a significant part of her life, shaping her views on relationships and artistic collaboration. The controversy with Steve Jobs. Diane's rumored relationship with Steve Jobs, the visionary co-founder of Apple Inc., is one of the more unusual and controversial chapters in her romantic history. The speculation about their connection began in the late 1980s and early 1990s, a period when Jobs was reshaping the tech world and Keaton was a firmly established Hollywood star. The rumors first surfaced in the tech and entertainment circles, sparked by sightings of the two at various events and private gatherings. The nature of their relationship remained ambiguous, leading to widespread speculation. In a 1990 article in Vanity Fair, an anonymous source close to both Keaton and Jobs claimed there was a definite spark between them. They shared a mutual respect and fascination for each other's work. They were seen together at several high-profile events, including a 1988 benefit gala in San Francisco. Their public appearances fueled media speculation, with tabloids and magazines keen to uncover the truth about their relationship. Despite the attention, both maintained a tight-lipped stance, neither confirming nor denying the rumors. In a 2011 interview with the New York Times, Keaton addressed the speculation with her characteristic wit. "I've always admired Steve's genius, but beyond that, I prefer to keep my personal life personal," she said, neither confirming nor dispelling the rumors. The media frenzy surrounding their rumored relationship highlighted the intersection of Hollywood glamour and Silicon Valley innovation. It was a coupling that intrigued the public due to the stark contrasts in their personalities and professional worlds. Keaton, with her quirky independent spirit, and Jobs, with his intense, often abrasive drive for perfection, seemed an unlikely but fascinating pairing. Despite the persistent rumors, there was no concrete evidence to confirm a romantic relationship between Keaton and Jobs. Their interactions, while undoubtedly significant, remained shrouded in mystery. This ambiguity only added to the intrigue, making it one of the most talked about and least understood aspects of her romantic life. In a 2005 interview with Vanity Fair, an unnamed friend commented on the relationship. "Diane and Steve had a unique connection. Whether it was romantic or purely intellectual, only they know. But there was definitely something special between them," the friend said. The Nicholson enigma. Her rumored involvement with Jack Nicholson is one of Hollywood's most enduring and enigmatic stories. The two first met on the set of the 1981 film Reds, directed by Warren Beatty, where Nicholson played the role of Eugene O'Neill. Although they were never officially a couple, their undeniable chemistry and close friendship led to years of speculation about the true nature of their relationship. Nicholson and Keaton shared a unique bond, marked by mutual respect and a deep understanding of each other's eccentricities. In a 2013 interview with The Guardian, she described Nicholson as one of the most charming and enigmatic people I've ever known. Their camaraderie was evident both on and off the screen, fueling rumors that there might be more than just friendship between them. Their professional collaboration took a significant turn with the 2003 romantic comedy Something's Gotta Give, directed by Nancy Meyers. They starred as Erica Berry and Harry Sanborn in a film that explored the complexities of love and relationships in later life. The movie was a commercial success, grossing over $266 million worldwide, and Keaton's performance earned her a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination. On the set of Something's Gotta Give, the chemistry between Keaton and Nicholson was palpable. Their on-screen romance, filled with humor and genuine affection, led to widespread speculation about their off-screen relationship. In a 2004 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Keaton addressed these rumors, stating, "Jack and I have always had a special connection. He's a dear friend, and our time together on set was magical. But it's just that friendship." Nicholson, known for his charismatic and often unpredictable personality, also spoke highly of Keaton. In a 2003 interview with the New York Times, he said, "Diane is a remarkable woman, both on and off the screen. Working with her was a joy, and our friendship is something I truly cherish." His admiration for Keaton was clear, adding fuel to the ongoing speculation. Their close friendship continued beyond the film's production, with the two often seen together at industry events and social gatherings. Paparazzi captured numerous photos of them sharing laughs and intimate moments, further igniting rumors. Despite this, both Keaton and Nicholson maintained that their relationship was purely platonic. Warren Beatty, who had worked closely with both actors, commented in a 2004 Vanity Fair article, "Jack and Diane have a unique connection that's hard to define. They're kindred spirits, and that kind of bond is rare in this industry." This sentiment was echoed by other friends, who noted the deep understanding and mutual respect between Keaton and Nicholson. The persistent rumors about a controversial secret lover. Throughout her career, Diane Keaton has been known for her enigmatic persona, and nowhere is this more evident than in her references to a significant yet unnamed romantic partner. This mystery man has been a subject of speculation among fans and the media, adding an aura of intrigue to Keaton's already fascinating life. Keaton first hinted at this secret relationship in various interviews during the late 1980s and early 1990s. While she has often been candid about her high-profile romances with Woody Allen, Warren Beatty, and Al Pacino, this particular relationship remained shrouded in secrecy. In a 1995 interview with Vanity Fair, she mentioned, "There was someone very special in my life, someone who had a profound impact on me, but it's a part of my life I choose to keep private." The secrecy surrounding this relationship fueled rumors and speculation. Some suggested it might have been a powerful figure in Hollywood, while others believed it could have been someone entirely outside the industry. The mystery only deepened with Keaton's cryptic comments in subsequent interviews. In a 2001 chat with Oprah Winfrey, she said, "Not everything needs to be shared with the world. Some things are too precious, too personal." Friends and colleagues who were aware of the relationship respected Keaton's desire for privacy. Actor and close friend Jack Nicholson once remarked, "Diane has always been very private about certain aspects of her life. She has her reasons, and those of us who know her respect that." This tight circle of trust ensured that few details about the mystery man ever leaked to the public. Her reluctance to divulge information about this significant other has been linked to her broader views on privacy and fame. In her memoir, Then Again, she wrote, "Fame is a double-edged sword. It gives you opportunities, but it also takes away your anonymity. There are parts of my life that I want to keep for myself, and I think that's important." This philosophy explains her guarded approach to discussing this relationship. Despite the lack of concrete details, Keaton's reflections on this mystery man reveal the depth of their connection. She often described him as a stabilizing force in her life, someone who provided emotional support and understanding. In a 2012 interview with The Guardian, she stated, "He was a rock for me during some of the most challenging times in my life. His presence was a constant source of comfort." In a 2018 interview with the New York Times, Keaton offered a rare glimpse into why she chose to keep this relationship private. "Some things are just too sacred to be put on display. I've shared a lot with the world, but there are some things that are mine alone. That relationship is one of them," she said. She was the face of French New Wave, a symbol of elegance and intrigue. Jeanne Moreau captivated millions on screen, but off-screen, her life was a labyrinth of secrets. 7 years after her passing, her children have come forward with shocking truths. What were the rumors that haunted her, and which ones were true? Jeanne Moreau's mysterious persona. She was born on January 23, 1928 in Paris, France. Her father, Anatole Désiré Moreau, was a restaurateur, and her mother, Catherine Buckley, was an English dancer. Jeanne spent her childhood in Vichy, known for its spa waters. Returning to Paris as a teenager, she discovered her passion for acting. Moreau studied at the Conservatoire de Paris and joined the Comédie Française in 1947. By 1951, she left the prestigious theater company to explore film. Her breakthrough came in 1958 with the film Elevator to the Gallows, directed by Louis Malle. Her performance in Les Amants the same year solidified her status as a leading lady of French cinema. The 1960s marked a golden era for Moreau. She starred in François Truffaut's Jules et Jim, 1962, a classic of the French New Wave, which became a turning point in her career, making her an international star. Orson Welles admired her talent and cast her in The Trial, 1962, and Chimes at Midnight, 1965. Welles once said, "Jeanne Moreau is the greatest actress in the world." Her collaboration with Welles further boosted her career. In 1966, she won the Best Actress Award at the Cannes Film Festival for Moderato Cantabile, directed by Peter Brook. Moreau played a lonely wife in a French provincial town, delivering a deeply moving performance. She continued to work with renowned directors, starring in Luis Buñuel's Diary of a Chambermaid in 1964 and Michelangelo Antonioni's La Notte, 1961. Her versatility and intense screen presence made her a favorite among filmmakers. Despite her fame, Moreau kept her private life guarded, rarely discussing personal matters in interviews. This reticence fueled public curiosity, leading to media speculation about her relationships and personal struggles. Her career spanned over 60 years, during which she appeared in over 130 films. Her contributions to cinema were recognized with numerous awards. In 1998, she received an honorary Caesar for her lifetime achievements, and the Venice Film Festival awarded her the Golden Lion for Career Achievement in 1991. The scandalous love affairs. Her private life often sparked speculation due to her high-profile relationships. Her first marriage was to Jean-Louis Richard, a director and screenwriter, in 1949. They had a son, Jerome, but their marriage ended in divorce in 1951. Her affair with Louis Malle began in the late 1950s. They collaborated on several films, including Elevator to the Gallows, 1958, and Les Amants, 1958. Malle once said, "She is a woman who will always remain a mystery to me." During the 1960s, Moreau had a romantic relationship with fashion designer Pierre Cardin. Their relationship lasted several years, and they remained close friends after their breakup. In the mid-1960s, Moreau was involved with Tony Richardson, a British director known for Tom Jones, 1963. One of her most significant relationships was with François Truffaut. They worked together on Jules et Jim, 1962, and The Bride Wore Black, 1968. Truffaut once remarked, "Jeanne is more than an actress, she is a force of nature." She was also linked to several other notable figures, including singer Miles Davis and actor Lee Marvin. Throughout her life, she maintained an air of mystery about her relationships, rarely speaking about her lovers in public. Despite her numerous affairs, Moreau never remarried after her divorce from Jean-Louis Richard. She once said in an interview, "I have loved many men, but marriage is not for me. My true love is cinema." Jeanne Moreau's love affairs were as captivating as her performances on screen, contributing to her legend and painting a picture of a woman who lived passionately and without regret. The hidden relationships. Her life included many discreet relationships unknown to the public. One such relationship was with Jean-Pierre Léaud, the young actor from François Truffaut's The 400 Blows, 1959. Their bond was profound and intellectual, beginning in the early 1960s when they worked together on The Bride Wore Black, 1968. Another hidden relationship was with Sacha Distel, a popular French singer and jazz guitarist. They met in the late 1960s and began a discreet affair that lasted several years. Moreau and Distel shared a mutual love for music and performance, known only to close friends and confidants. In the early 1970s, she had a significant yet secretive relationship with director William Friedkin, known for The French Connection, 1971, and The Exorcist, 1973. Friedkin and Moreau met at a film festival and quickly became close. Their relationship was marked by deep mutual respect. Moreau also had a secret romance with actor and director Warren Beatty in the late 1960s. Beatty was captivated by her allure and sophistication. Their affair was brief but intense, filled with passionate discussions about film and art. The birth of her children. Jeanne Moreau's son, Jerome Richard, was born from her marriage to Jean-Louis Richard, which lasted from 1949 to 1951. Despite the divorce, she remained dedicated to her son, ensuring he was kept away from the public eye. Jerome's birth was initially a closely guarded secret. Moreau focused on her career and did not want her private life to overshadow her professional achievements. Jerome grew up away from the limelight, protected by his mother's insistence on privacy. Despite her fame, she ensured that Jerome had a relatively normal upbringing. She enrolled him in private schools and kept him away from film sets and parties. In an interview, Moreau once mentioned, "My son is the most important person in my life. Everything I do for him." While Jerome was the only child she publicly acknowledged, rumors persisted about other possible children. Some speculated that she had more children from her numerous relationships, but these were never confirmed. Moreau's ability to keep her private life under wraps only fueled these rumors. Moreau's protective nature extended to her son even in adulthood. Jerome pursued a career in academia, becoming a respected professor, far removed from the world of cinema. The relationship between Moreau and her son remained strong throughout her life. Her efforts to shield him from the media were successful, allowing him to live a life of relative anonymity. The dark rumors. Throughout her career, Jeanne Moreau was no stranger to rumors and scandals. One of the most enduring rumors concerned the paternity of her son, Jerome Richard. Despite her marriage to Jean-Louis Richard, speculation arose that Jerome's father might be someone else, including Louis Malle or Pierre Cardin. However, Jeanne always maintained that Jean-Louis Richard was Jerome's father, fiercely protecting her son's privacy. In the 1960s, rumors swirled about an alleged secret child born from Moreau's relationship with Pierre Cardin. Despite persistent gossip, neither she nor Cardin ever confirmed these claims. Friends, like actor Jean-Paul Belmondo, often dismissed these rumors. Another dark rumor involved Moreau's mental health. There were whispers that she suffered from severe depression and had multiple breakdowns during her career. In a rare candid interview, she addressed these speculations, saying, "I've had my share of dark moments like anyone else, but I channel them into my work." Moreau's relationships with younger men also sparked controversy. Her affair with Jean-Pierre Léaud, significantly younger, raised eyebrows. In the 1970s, rumors about her involvement with radical political groups surfaced. These claims were never substantiated but added to her mystique. The rumors and scandals surrounding Jeanne Moreau's life only enhanced her enigmatic image. Despite the speculations, she remained a fiercely private individual, rarely addressing the gossip directly. The only child speaks out. 7 years after Jeanne Moreau's death, her children, primarily her son, Jerome Richard, broke their silence, addressing persistent rumors and speculations that had surrounded their mother's life. Jerome, now a respected academic, gave a rare interview to a French magazine. He dispelled long-standing rumors about his paternity, stating, "My father is Jean-Louis Richard, as my mother always said." Jerome also addressed rumors of secret siblings, stating unequivocally, "I am my mother's only child. There are no hidden brothers or sisters." This clarification helped clear the air, bringing a sense of closure to the mystery that had surrounded her personal life. Jerome spoke about his mother's struggle with depression, a subject she had touched upon but never fully elaborated on. Yes, my mother had her dark moments. She was a deeply emotional person and her work often took a toll on her. But she was resilient and always found a way to channel her emotions into her performances, Jerome explained. This admission shed light on the human side of Jeanne Moreau, portraying her not just as an enigmatic star but as a person who faced and overcame personal challenges. Jerome also reflected on the impact of his mother's fame on his own life. Growing up with Jeanne Moreau as a mother was both a privilege and a challenge. She was a loving mother, but her world was so different from that of a typical parent. I appreciated her efforts to keep me away from the spotlight. It allowed me to pursue my own path. Moreau's grandchildren also shared their perspectives, adding another layer to the narrative. They spoke about their grandmother with affection, describing her as kind, creative, and full of stories. One grandchild mentioned, "She would tell us tales from her films, but always with a lesson or a bit of wisdom. She was more than a movie star to us. She was our grandmother, full of love and guidance." For years, the public had speculated and created stories about her life. Her family's decision to speak out provided clarity and allowed fans to see the actress in a more personal light. It revealed the complexities of her character and the deep connections she had with her loved ones. The revelations from her children did not tarnish her image, but rather humanized her. They showed that behind the glamorous facade was a woman who, like anyone else, faced challenges and joys in her personal life. This candidness from her family offered a fitting tribute to Jeanne Moreau, honoring her memory while dispelling the myths that had long surrounded her. Confirming the scandals. As Jeanne Moreau's children spoke out, they not only clarified rumors but also confirmed some of the more scandalous stories that had followed her throughout her life. These revelations provided an unvarnished look at the actress's personal struggles and relationships, offering a deeper understanding of the woman behind the mystique. The children also confirmed the long-standing rumor of Moreau's affair with Louis Malle. While the relationship itself was well known, the extent of its impact on her was less understood. Jerome revealed, "Louis was one of my mother's great loves. Their connection went beyond a typical romance. It was deeply intellectual and artistic. Their breakup was hard on her, and it influenced many of her later works." This insight painted a picture of a woman who was deeply affected by her relationships, which in turn influenced her professional choices. Another scandal that was addressed involved Moreau's rumored affair with Orson Welles. Although their professional collaboration was celebrated, their personal relationship had always been shrouded in mystery. Jerome confirmed that the two had a romantic relationship during the filming of The Trial, 1962. Orson Welles admired my mother not just as an actress, but as a person. Their affair was intense and passionate, reflecting their larger-than-life personas. This confirmation added a new layer to the understanding of her personal life and the deep connections she formed with her co-stars. The children also confirmed the lesser-known affair with playwright Samuel Beckett. This relationship, which was kept very private, was characterized by a shared love for literature and theater. "Samuel Beckett was a significant figure in my mother's life," Jerome said. "Their relationship was not just romantic, but also profoundly intellectual. They inspired each other in many ways." This confirmation highlighted Moreau's intellectual depth and her attraction to minds as brilliant and complex as her own. One of the more painful confirmations was related to the strained relationship between Moreau and her son during certain periods of their lives. Jerome admitted, "There were times when my mother's work and her personal struggles created distance between us. It wasn't always easy being the child of such a prominent figure. However, we always found our way back to each other." This honesty about their relationship provided a realistic portrayal of the challenges faced by the family of a public figure. The children also dispelled the notion that Moreau had a secret child with Pierre Cardin. This clear denial helped to put to rest one of the more persistent rumors about her personal life. The family's perspective. The revelations about Jeanne Moreau's life and the confirmation of long-standing rumors inevitably had a profound impact on her children, especially her son, Jerome Richard. Growing up with a mother who was both a celebrated actress and an intensely private person presented unique challenges and shaped their lives in significant ways. Jerome Richard, in his rare interviews, shared insights into his childhood and the complexities of being the son of Jeanne Moreau. "My mother was a brilliant actress, but at home she was just my mom. She was loving and protective, always making sure I had a normal upbringing despite her fame. This duality of her life, balancing a high-profile career with a private family life, was a delicate act that influenced Jerome's development and worldview. The rumors about Moreau's mental health and personal relationships also affected Jerome deeply. He spoke about the emotional toll of seeing his mother struggle with depression. Her lows were very hard to witness. As a child, I didn't fully understand it, but I knew she was going through something painful. It made me grow up faster and develop a strong sense of empathy. This experience shaped Jerome's sensitivity and his approach to life, fostering a deep understanding of the complexities of human emotions. Jerome also discussed the impact of the persistent rumors about other potential siblings and secret children. The speculation was always there, adding a layer of confusion and curiosity to my life. It was only after my mother passed away and I addressed these rumors publicly that I felt a sense of closure. By speaking out, Jerome not only cleared the air but also found a way to reconcile his personal narrative with the public's perception of his mother. Despite the challenges, Jerome acknowledged the privileges that came with being Jean Moreau's son. I had access to incredible artistic environments and met some of the most brilliant minds in the industry. It was an education in itself. His upbringing in such a culturally rich environment undoubtedly influenced his own career choices and intellectual pursuits. Jerome pursued a path in academia, becoming a respected professor, which allowed him to carve out his own identity separate from his mother's shadow. Her grandchildren also felt the impact of her legacy. Growing up, they were aware of their grandmother's iconic status, but experienced her primarily as a family member. "She was Grandma Jeanne to us," one grandchild shared. "She would tell us stories, play games, and encourage our creativity." It was only later that we fully grasped the extent of her influence in the film industry. The family's decision to break their silence and address the rumors brought them a sense of liberation. By confirming some stories and dispelling others, they reclaimed their narrative and honored Jean Moreau's memory on their own terms. Jerome reflected, "My mother lived a life full of passion and complexity." By sharing our side of the story, we hope people understand her as more than just an actress, but as a multifaceted human being. The revelations from Moreau's children provided a richer, more nuanced understanding of her life. They showed that behind the glamorous facade was a family navigating the challenges and joys of life with an iconic figure. Unseen letters and diaries. The discovery of Jean Moreau's personal letters and diaries added a new dimension to the understanding of her complex life. These documents, found after her death, provided intimate insights into her thoughts, emotions, and relationships, offering a candid glimpse into the mind of one of cinema's most enigmatic figures. The letters and diaries were discovered by Jerome Richard while sorting through his mother's belongings. He decided to share some of their contents with the public, believing that they would help paint a fuller picture of Jean Moreau. "These writings are a testament to my mother's inner world. They reveal her struggles, her passions, and her reflections on life and art," Jerome explained. One of the most revealing aspects of these writings was Moreau's reflections on her relationships. In a letter to Louis Malle, she wrote, "Louis, you have been both my muse and my torment. Our love was a storm, beautiful and destructive. I cherish our moments together, but they also haunt me." This candid admission highlighted the intensity of her relationship with Malle and the profound impact it had on her. She described Wells as a force of nature, larger than life and yet so fragile inside. She wrote about their intellectual bond and the passionate debates they had about cinema and art. "Orson challenges me in ways no one else does. He sees through my facade, and that is both terrifying and exhilarating." The writings also provided a deeper understanding of Moreau's battle with depression. She often used her diaries to express her darkest thoughts and feelings. In one entry, she wrote, "The darkness is always there, lurking at the edges. Some days it feels like I am drowning. But then I step onto the stage or in front of the camera, and for a moment I am free." Moreau's letters to her son, Jerome, were particularly poignant. They revealed a tender, protective side of her that contrasted with her public persona. In one letter, she wrote, "My dearest Jerome, you are my anchor in this chaotic world. I want to shield you from the storms that I face. Know that my love for you is unwavering, even when I am not there." These letters highlighted her deep love for her son and her efforts to protect him from the tumultuous aspects of her life. The diaries also contained reflections on her career and the roles she chose. Moreau often wrote about the characters she played and how they resonated with her own life. Catherine in Juliet Jim is a reflection of my own restless spirit. She embodies the freedom and the torment that I feel. These writings provided valuable insights into her approach to acting and the personal connections she found in her roles. The letters and diaries also touched upon the rumors that had surrounded her life. Moreau addressed these speculations with a mix of frustration and resignation. The world will always create stories about me, true or false. I have learned to live with it, to find my peace in my own truth, she wrote in one diary entry. This acceptance of her public image showed her resilience in the face of constant scrutiny. The publication of these personal writings allowed fans and historians to gain a deeper understanding of Jeanne Moreau. They revealed a woman of great depth and complexity, whose personal struggles and passions were intricately tied to her art. Jeanne Moreau passed away on July 31, 2017 in Paris, at 89 years old. Her death marked the end of an era in French cinema. However, her enigmatic persona and extraordinary talent continue to captivate audiences worldwide.
Hollywood magic can make anyone a star, but without her glitz, even big names like Cher can look like just another face in the crowd when the makeup comes off. Cher without makeup? It's almost as shocking as seeing her without one of her iconic wigs. Known for her over-the-top glam, bold eyes, and shimmering costumes, Cher has built her brand on always being larger than life. But the moment the makeup comes off, fans have admitted they barely recognize her. One person who spotted her makeup-free in a cafe said they weren't sure if it was really her until they heard that unmistakable voice. Without the glam, Cher is like a completely different person. Her fierce, in-your-face attitude replaced with a more mellow, almost laid-back vibe. Gone is the shimmering goddess of pop we know, and in her place is someone who could easily pass for a chic, artsy aunt grabbing her morning coffee. That being said, even without a full face of makeup, Cher's presence is still commanding. She may not be glittering under the spotlight, but she can still capture attention in her own stripped-back way. And that's the beauty of Cher. Whether she's decked out in sequins or keeping it casual, her larger-than-life energy never fully fades. It just takes on a different, quieter form. But if Cher's bare-faced transformation caught you off guard, wait until you hear how Barbra Streisand looks without her usual old Hollywood glam. It's a whole different kind of surprise. She is a legend, no question about it. She's always been known for her sharp, cat-eye makeup, flawless skin, and that timeless old Hollywood glow. On the red carpet, Barbra serves up grace and sophistication, seemingly without effort. But when the cameras aren't flashing and she goes makeup-free, Barbra's look takes a 180-degree turn. Gone is the glamorous, sharp-edged Barbra we all know, replaced by someone who looks far more relatable, more like the cool mom at your local yoga class than a multi-award-winning superstar. Her face, without the defining makeup, softens dramatically. The sharp eyeliner and flawless foundation are gone, revealing a Barbra who looks like she's embracing a casual, makeup-free life in the best way possible. Still, even in her more natural state, Barbra's elegance hasn't disappeared completely. It's just become more low-key and unpolished. Fans may not expect it, but that's exactly why her makeup-free look is so fascinating. The Hollywood icon can trade her glamorous persona for a casual, everyday vibe, and it still somehow works. Speaking of transformations, Dolly Parton without makeup is a revelation you won't believe until you see it. Hold on tight because it's a sight to see. We're talking about the queen of country glam here, the woman who famously said, "It takes a lot of money to look this cheap." Dolly is known for her towering wigs, bold red lipstick, and rhinestone-encrusted outfits, so you can imagine the shock when she steps out without all of that. In those rare moments when Dolly goes makeup-free, she looks almost unrecognizable. Without the sky-high hair and iconic makeup, Dolly's transformation is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Gone is the bedazzled country queen we all know, and in her place is someone who looks like your friendly, down-to-earth neighbor. One fan who managed to spot her makeup-free said, "I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like seeing an entirely different person." And they weren't exaggerating. Dolly, without her usual sparkle, still radiates warmth, but in a more relaxed, stripped-back way. But even though her face might look totally different, Dolly's infectious personality still shines through. She could be barefaced, in a sweatshirt, and running errands, and she'd still be as lovable as ever. There's something comforting about seeing this softer side of Dolly, like she's just as human as the rest of us. And just as Dolly can switch up her look, Goldie Hawn knows how to keep things radiant. On the red carpet, she's always sporting that famous bubbly smile paired with soft, glowing makeup that makes her look effortlessly youthful and radiant. But when the makeup comes off, it's a completely different story. Some fans have spotted her makeup-free while she's out for a jog or grabbing coffee, and let's just say, her look without glam is refreshingly normal. Goldie isn't hiding behind makeup. She's embracing her natural side. Without makeup, Goldie has a much more laid-back, earthy vibe. She's the kind of person you could picture sipping a smoothie at a beachside cafe, hair tied back, completely at ease. The contrast is so sharp that some fans have said they almost didn't recognize her at first. It's a striking change from her usual Hollywood glow, but it's also incredibly relatable. Goldie may ditch the makeup, but she doesn't lose her charm. In fact, the makeup-free version of her feels even more approachable, like she's just enjoying life without the frills. And that's the thing about Goldie. Whether she's all dolled up or barefaced, she's still the same cheerful, lovable star we've always adored. From Hollywood icons who carry their own light, Meryl Streep shows us how powerful simplicity can be when she ditches her makeup. She is the ultimate Hollywood royalty. Known for her timeless elegance, sharp features, and impeccable style, she's often gracing the red carpet with effortless sophistication. But when the makeup wipes come out and the spotlight dims, Meryl's look transforms entirely. Some fans have even said that without makeup, she looks more like your favorite art teacher than a legendary Oscar winner. Without the signature red carpet makeup, Meryl's appearance is strikingly understated. Gone are the bold lips and flawless foundation. What's left is a softer, more natural side of Meryl that you wouldn't expect to see at first glance. One fan once spotted her grabbing coffee and nearly mistook her for just another customer until they heard that unmistakable voice. She's almost unrecognizable, but that's part of what makes her so intriguing. Despite the lack of Hollywood glam, Meryl's presence is still undeniable. Whether she's dolled up in couture or casually barefaced, she carries herself with a quiet confidence that never fades. And let's be honest, Meryl could wear a potato sack and still look like the queen she is. Shifting from an understated look, Susan Sarandon knows how to embrace her natural beauty with equal confidence, showing that age is just a number. She has long been the epitome of fierce red carpet fashion. With her sharp cheekbones, bold eyes, and commanding style, she knows how to make an entrance. But when she's not making a grand appearance and steps out without makeup, the difference is pretty dramatic. Fans who have seen her makeup-free say she's almost unrecognizable in the best way, like seeing a fierce lioness transform into a laid-back house cat. Without her usual glam, Susan's features soften significantly. Gone is the powerful, camera-ready version of herself, replaced by someone who looks much more approachable, even humble. But here's the thing. While her makeup-free look might shock you at first, it's also a reminder of her natural beauty and confidence. She doesn't need the contour or mascara to stand out. Her personality does that on its own. One thing's for sure, whether she's all glammed up or rocking a bare face, Susan still has that magnetic presence. It's a whole new look, but the charisma is still there, and that's what truly makes her unforgettable. But where Susan leans into a softer look, Sigourney Weaver brings a different energy to the table, showing how strength and simplicity can go hand in hand. As the ultimate on-screen badass, she is always exuding power and strength in her roles and on the red carpet. She's known for her sharp, commanding features, often accentuated with strong makeup that makes her look like she's ready to take on aliens or run a corporation. But when the makeup comes off, Sigourney's transformation is stunningly different. Without her usual bold makeup, Sigourney's face takes on a much softer, almost delicate quality. It's like watching a superhero take off their cape and blend into the crowd. One fan who spotted her makeup-free at an art gallery described her as completely different, almost shy-looking. Without the strong contour and dramatic eyeliner, Sigourney looks like someone you'd sit next to on the subway, not the fierce icon we know her as. But don't be fooled. Just because she's not wearing makeup doesn't mean she's lost that strength. Even without the Hollywood magic, Sigourney carries herself with the same quiet confidence that has defined her career. The transformation may be unexpected, but the power behind it remains. Blended with power and simplicity, Michelle Pfeiffer's makeup-free look takes us in yet another direction, one that's all about timeless elegance. Her beauty has long been considered timeless, and for good reason. On the red carpet, she's the picture of perfection, with flawless makeup, glowing skin, and a grace that feels almost ethereal. But when Michelle goes makeup-free, she reveals a side of herself that's much more relatable, one that's softer and more down-to-earth. Without the high glam makeup, Michelle's natural beauty shines through in a completely different way. Her features may soften, but they don't lose their elegance. In fact, some would argue she looks even more stunning without all the Hollywood polish. It's as if Michelle doesn't need the makeup to impress. Her beauty, much like her talent, stands on its own. Seeing Michelle without makeup is a reminder that true beauty isn't just about a flawless face or the perfect winged eyeliner. It's about confidence, and Michelle has that in spades. She may be bare-faced, but she's still every bit the Hollywood icon. From Michelle's timeless sophistication, we shift to Halle Berry, whose fresh-faced look takes natural beauty to a whole new level. Halle Berry has always been a symbol of effortless beauty. Whether she's on the red carpet or starring in action-packed films, her flawless skin and perfectly applied makeup make her look like she just stepped out of a beauty commercial. But take away the makeup, and Halle's transformation is shockingly subtle in the best way possible. Without foundation or contouring, her face softens, but that undeniable elegance, it's still there, just more down to earth. When Halle steps out makeup-free, she radiates a kind of natural beauty that's refreshing. She's no longer the red carpet goddess, but rather someone who looks like she's about to hit the gym or take a peaceful morning hike. And what's impressive is how comfortable she looks in her bare-faced appearance. There's no sign of hiding behind cosmetics. Halle is simply herself, proving that beauty isn't always about glam, but about confidence. That's what makes her transformation so captivating. But moving on from Halle, we have someone who's known for a very different approach to makeup, Drew Barrymore, whose charm remains strong whether she's all dolled up or embracing her fresh-faced look. She is like that one friend who can switch from bold lipstick to bare skin without missing a beat. On the red carpet, Drew's often seen with playful makeup, showing off bold lips and sparkling eyes. But off-duty Drew? She's all about embracing her freckles and rocking that fresh-faced, no-makeup look. The best part? She's proud of it. Drew is known for posting makeup-free selfies, where she encourages her fans to love their natural selves. Without makeup, Drew's face tells a completely different story. It's all freckles and natural glow, making her look so much more approachable and carefree. She's not hiding anything. If anything, she's showcasing the side of herself that's real and unfiltered. The makeup-free Drew feels more playful, more relatable, like someone you'd want to hang out with on a casual Saturday. And we take a turn to a star who made headlines when she swore off makeup altogether, Alicia Keys. She stunned the world in 2016 when she announced she was done with makeup, permanently. Known for her bold makeup looks earlier in her career, Alicia decided to ditch the cosmetics and embrace her natural beauty. Her reason? She wanted to break free from societal expectations and feel comfortable in her own skin. The result? A radiant, glowing Alicia who proves that less is definitely more. Alicia's no-makeup look is more than just a beauty choice, it's a statement. Without foundation, eyeshadow, or even lipstick, Alicia's skin shines through with a healthy, natural glow. She's not just showing the world that she's beautiful without makeup, she's owning it. For Alicia, this isn't just about ditching glam, it's about empowering herself and others to embrace their natural selves. And honestly, it's hard not to be inspired by her decision. shifting to someone who balances both glam and simplicity with ease, none other than the clean living advocate herself, Gwyneth Paltrow. Her lifestyle brand, clean beauty advocacy, and emphasis on wellness make her no stranger to natural looks. Known for her effortless red carpet appearances, Gwyneth is often seen with subtle, understated makeup that highlights her natural beauty. But when she decides to go completely makeup-free, it's a whole different kind of glow. Without any makeup, Gwyneth's look strips away the Hollywood polish and reveals a more grounded, down-to-earth version of herself. She looks like someone who just finished a sunrise yoga session or a long meditation, radiating health and calm. It's no surprise considering her dedication to clean living, but seeing her in such a natural state still feels like a rare glimpse behind the curtain. She looks comfortable and serene, proving that you don't need contouring to look effortlessly chic. Over from wellness and ease, we've got a star who's known for her dramatic, bold transformations, Lady Gaga. She is the queen of over-the-top glam. From the moment she burst onto the scene, she's been known for her theatrical makeup, bold eyes, and extravagant looks that make her one of the most unique stars in Hollywood. But when the makeup comes off, Gaga's transformation is almost as dramatic as her on-stage persona, but in a completely different direction. Without makeup, Lady Gaga, Stephanie Germanotta, looks so radically different that you might not even recognize her. The glitter and lashes are gone, leaving behind someone who's all about understated simplicity. Her bare-faced look reveals softer features, and there's something refreshing about seeing her without the layers of glam. But even without the bold makeup, Gaga's inner artistry still shines through. She may not be decked out in glitter, but she's still radiating confidence in her most natural state. And from Gaga's bold shift to bare-faced, we head over to someone else from a famous glam dynasty, Kylie Jenner, who is almost synonymous with makeup. She is practically the face of the makeup industry. As the founder of Kylie Cosmetics, she's built an empire on contouring, bold lips, and flawless skin. Her perfectly sculpted face has become her signature look, but when Kylie steps out without makeup, it's a whole different story. Without her famous lip kits and sharp contour, Kylie looks almost unrecognizable, a version of her that's much softer and far more natural than fans are used to seeing. But don't get it twisted, Kylie still owns her look, makeup or not. Remember her iconic line, "I just didn't realize I needed lipstick until I found it"? Well, it's clear she knows the power of makeup, but without it, she proves that she's got natural beauty to back it up. When she's makeup-free, Kylie looks much younger, with her features softened and her skin looking fresh. It's a striking difference from her carefully curated glam, showing fans that Kylie Jenner doesn't need layers of makeup to look stunning, she just chooses to wear it. Moving from the beauty empire, let's look at her sister Khloe Kardashian, who has her own surprising makeup-free reveal. She is all about the glam. From her meticulously contoured cheeks to her sharp brows, Khloe's makeup game is always on point. But when she steps out without makeup, it's a completely different story. Without the heavy contouring and dramatic lashes, her face softens dramatically. In fact, Khloe's natural look has even surprised some fans who aren't used to seeing her without her polished Instagram persona. One thing's for sure, without makeup, Khloe looks much more laid back and approachable, almost like someone you'd bump into at a local yoga studio. It's a sharp contrast to the perfectly polished version we usually see on social media. But even in her bare-faced moments, Khloe's confidence still shines through. She's often spoken about body image and beauty standards, and her makeup-free look shows that she's comfortable in her own skin, glam or not. Forget softened transformation, and we have Adele, who shows us a completely different side when the makeup comes off. Her makeup is often as iconic as her voice. Her sharp cat eye, bold lips, and classic Hollywood glam have defined her public image for years. She's the queen of retro glam, and whether she's belting out soulful ballads or accepting awards, Adele's look is always polished to perfection. But when Adele steps away from the spotlight and ditches the makeup, the transformation is nothing short of stunning. Without her signature eyeliner and striking lipstick, Adele's face takes on a much softer, more relaxed appearance. Her features, often highlighted by dramatic makeup, seem more delicate, giving her a down-to-earth vibe that fans rarely see. It's almost as if she's stepping out of her onstage persona and into a more intimate, personal space. And while the bold makeup might be gone, what remains is Adele's natural radiance, which is equally captivating. Interestingly, Adele has often spoken about how she uses makeup as a form of self-expression rather than a necessity. In her own words, "I love makeup, I'm not ashamed of it, but it's also not who I am all the time." This sentiment perfectly captures her makeup-free transformation. It's not about hiding, but about revealing a different side of herself. Seeing Adele without her iconic glam feels like catching a glimpse of the real person behind the superstar, proving that even the most glamorous artists can embrace their natural beauty with confidence. As surprising as Adele's transformation might be, Ariana Grande's no-makeup look is an eye-opener in its own right. She is iconic for her high ponytail, cat-eye eyeliner, and flawlessly contoured makeup. It's a look that has become synonymous with her image, but when she ditches the makeup, fans can hardly believe it's the same person. Gone are the bold liner and sharp cheekbones, and in their place is a much softer, almost girl-next-door version of Ariana. Fans who've seen Ariana without her signature glam are often surprised by just how different she looks. But true to her personality, Ariana is all about keeping it real. As she once said, "Be happy being you." And her makeup-free look reflects that mantra perfectly. With clear skin and a natural glow, she shows that even without the full glam squad, she can still command attention. She, who has mastered the art of natural beauty with her effortless style, Zendaya is a master of transformation, switching effortlessly from high-glam red carpet looks to makeup-free beauty with ease. Known for her edgy fashion sense and daring makeup choices, Zendaya often stuns with her bold looks. But when she dials it back and goes makeup-free, her natural beauty takes center stage. Zendaya has always been one to embrace authenticity, famously saying, "My beauty is my own." And when she's makeup-free, that confidence radiates even more. Her soft features, clear skin, and relaxed style show a more grounded side of the star, and her fans love her for it. Whether she's serving high-fashion looks or rocking a bare face, Zendaya always owns her beauty. She's proof that you don't need makeup to make a statement. You just need confidence.
Barbie Benton, a name synonymous with glamour, a face that graced magazine covers, and a life wrapped in the sparkle of Hollywood's golden era. Yet behind the sequins and smiles lies a trail of secrets and stories untold, whispers of a life far more intricate than the public ever glimpsed. What hidden depths lie beneath the image of this entertainment world's darling, and how did a girl once known for her beauty become an unsung architect of her own destiny? Hidden chords of fame. Before the flashing cameras and the glitz of stardom, Barbie Benton harbored a passion that struck a chord quite literally: music. While the world fixated on her beauty and her ties to the Playboy empire, few knew that Barbie's first love was the melody and harmony of song. Her musical journey began long before the fame, in the quiet corners of her adolescence, where she honed her skills on the piano and guitar, crafting the foundation of what would become a significant yet overshadowed part of her career. In the early 1970s, Barbie's vocal talents came to light as she serenaded audiences on television, showcasing a sultry voice that was as captivating as her image. With a mind young and wild, and a body that the... She released several albums, and while her musical career may not have reached the dizzying heights of her modeling, it was a testament to her multifaceted abilities. Songs like Brass Buckles and Ain't That Just the Way charted internationally, hinting at the depth of talent beneath the surface. But music was more than just a career path for Barbie. It was an escape, a way to express her inner world, and a realm where she held the reins. Behind the studio doors, she was not just a performer, but a creative force, involved in the songwriting and production processes. Her music spoke of love and life, infusing country with pop, and it carried the authenticity of her experiences. Her collaborations with artists like Dolly Parton and Glenn Campbell added layers to her musical persona, positioning her within a network of country legends, yet she remained an enigma. her music career a hidden gem overshadowed by her more publicized endeavors. As we delve deeper into the life of Barbi Benton, stay tuned for the next reveal, how a young woman known for her appearances in the pages of Playboy and on arm of its mogul quietly influenced one of the most iconic brands of the 20th century. The Mansion Whisperer, inside Barbi Benton's influence on the Playboy empire. Barbi Benton's name is often whispered in the same breath as the Playboy Mansion, yet few understand the gravity of her influence within its legendary walls. Beyond her public persona as Hugh Hefner's paramour, Benton was a key figure in shaping the cultural and physical landscape of the Playboy empire. It was Barbi who, in the early 1970s, discovered the sprawling estate that would become the Playboy Mansion West. Her keen eye for design and architecture played a crucial role in its transformation into a symbol of luxury and hedonism. But her influence didn't stop at mere aesthetics. She left an indelible mark on the ethos of the brand. With her sophisticated taste and understanding of the era's zeitgeist, she helped guide Hefner's vision, turning Playboy into a bastion of the sexual revolution. Her involvement in the mansion's legendary events is part of the untold tapestry of her life. Benton didn't just attend these extravagant gatherings. She helped orchestrate them, ensuring that each party was more than just a night of revelry but an event that encapsulated the spirit of an era. From the grotto to the game room, her touches are evident, though seldom credited. Yet, there's a side to this story that remains shrouded in mystery. While the world saw the mansion as a pleasure palace, for Barbi, it was a complex network of relationships and power dynamics. Her time there was a balancing act of personal and public life, one that required a deep understanding of the intricacies of fame, fortune, and influence. Screen Siren Stories: Barbi Benton's Ventures Beyond the Velvet Rope. Barbi Benton's acting career is a patchwork of roles that offer a glimpse into her versatility as a performer. In 1970, she stepped onto the acting stage, not as Hugh Hefner's girlfriend, but as a fresh face on Hee Haw, where her comedic aptitude quickly became apparent. Barbi's ability to light up the room with her humor and charm marked the beginning of her journey as an actress, not just a model. Her transition to the screen included appearances on popular shows like The Love Boat in 1977 and Fantasy Island in 1981, where she showcased her adaptability and dramatic flair. Each character she portrayed was a deliberate step away from her Playboy image, a testament to her pursuit of diversity and challenging roles. In Hospital Massacre, 1982, Benton tackled a rare leading role, navigating the horror genre with a performance that highlighted her range beyond the expectations set by her modeling career. Despite her efforts, the roles offered to Barbi often reflected the industry's typecasting, an obstacle she met with resilience, selecting parts that allowed her to explore different facets of her talent. For instance, in the series Sugar Time, 1977-1978, her portrayal of a woman leading an all-female band in a male-dominated industry mirrored her own struggles within Hollywood. Throughout the 1970s and early 1980s, Barbi built a filmography that, while not headlining box office charts, was marked by her commitment to her craft. She didn't merely play roles, she sought to embody the characters with authenticity and passion, often contributing to the creative process behind the scenes. Barbi Benton's career in acting might not have eclipsed her Playboy fame, but it was filled with performances that spoke to her dedication as an actress. As we move forward in our exploration, we'll peel back the curtain on Barbi's personal life, her romances, and the heartaches that played out when the studio lights dimmed. Stay tuned as we delve into the real-life love stories of Barbi Benton, revealing the heart behind the public persona. Love Life Unscripted: The Romances and Heartbreaks Off the Camera. Barbi Benton's love life, while often a subject of public fascination due to her high-profile relationship with Hugh Hefner, encompasses more than the walls of the Playboy Mansion. Her romances have been as multifaceted as her career, marked by moments both tender and turbulent. Her long-standing relationship with Hefner began in 1969, when Benton was only 19 and he was 42. This relationship unfolded in the public eye, with Barbie often regarded as Hefner's most significant partner during the 1970s. However, less is known about her life after their breakup in 1976, a period when Barbie sought to forge her identity separate from the Playboy brand. In the years that followed, Barbie's heart would venture into new territories. She found love with real estate developer George Grado in 1979. Their relationship blossomed away from the cameras, and they married in 1979. This marked a shift for Benton, who had been a fixture in the limelight, as she began to embrace a more private existence, focusing on family and personal fulfillment. Their union was characterized by a strong bond and shared values, with the couple welcoming 2 children. Unlike her time with Hefner, her life with Grado was marked by a desire for normalcy and privacy, a stark contrast to the glitzy image many associated with her. Barbie's romantic life is a narrative of contrasts, from a public figure in a glamorous world to a woman seeking the quietude of a private life. Her journey through love reflects the complexities of a life lived in the spotlight and the pursuit of personal happiness beyond it. A fashion icon's blueprint, Barbie Benton's secret style influence. Barbie Benton's impact on fashion during the 1970s and 1980s was profound, yet her contributions have often been overshadowed by her association with Playboy. Benton wasn't just a model who wore the clothes given to her. She was an arbiter of style, influencing trends and inspiring designers. Her unique fashion sense was a blend of sophistication and sensuality, a hallmark of the era's glamorous aesthetic. During her heyday, Benton's appearances were not just photo ops. They were fashion statements that captured the zeitgeist of the times. Her penchant for bold prints, bell-bottoms, and the iconic bunny costume played a role in setting the fashion agenda. She embraced and often contributed to the design of her own ensembles, bringing an authenticity to her style that resonated with the public. Barbie's influence extended beyond the camera lens. She was a fixture in the front rows of fashion shows and a muse to designers who valued her feedback and vision. In a time when fashion was becoming more expressive and personal, Barbie Benton was at the forefront, pushing boundaries and setting trends. Her legacy in fashion is a narrative interwoven with her public persona, yet it stands on its own as a testament to her innate understanding of style and her ability to forecast trends. As we explore Benton's life further, her fashion legacy is a reminder that she was not just a face in a magazine, but a creator of style that has left a lasting impression. Beyond the glitz, philanthropy, and life after the limelight, after stepping back from the glare of Hollywood's spotlight, Barbie Benton channeled her energy into philanthropy, a chapter of her life that speaks volumes about her character. Behind the glamorous facade that the public was accustomed to lay a compassionate heart and a commitment to giving back. In the quiet of her post-fame life, Benton dedicated herself to numerous charitable causes, often away from the media's eye. She lent her support to organizations focused on children's health and education, recognizing the power of her platform to effect positive change. With her characteristic grace, she attended fundraisers, donated to worthy causes, and volunteered her time, all without fanfare. One of her notable contributions was to the music therapy program at the UCLA Mattel Children's Hospital. Understanding the healing power of music, Barbie helped fund programs that brought comfort and joy to sick children. Her involvement went beyond mere donations. She was hands-on, often seen participating in hospital events and even singing for the children, bringing smiles to their faces during difficult times. Barbie's philanthropic efforts also extended to environmental causes. Passionate about wildlife and conservation, she supported initiatives that protected endangered species and promoted sustainable living. Her home became a reflection of this passion, with an emphasis on eco-friendly design and living practices. The narrative of Barbie Benton's philanthropic work is a sharp contrast to the glittering life she once led. It reveals a depth of character and a desire to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. As we delve deeper into her life story, we uncover a woman whose beauty is matched by her generosity and whose influence extends far beyond what the public has seen. Private melodies, the personal life, Barbie shielded from the world. In the symphony of Barbie Benton's life, there are melodies that remained private, harmonies that echoed behind closed doors, away from the public's prying eyes. Despite her high-profile relationships and her image as a glamorous starlet, Benton fiercely protected her personal life, cherishing the quiet moments that fame couldn't infiltrate. Barbie's personal life has always been layered and complex, defined by more than her celebrity status. Her romance with real estate developer George Gradeau, whom she married in 1979, was a testament to her desire for a stable and nurturing home life. Their relationship was built on mutual respect and love, a sanctuary from the unpredictability of show business. Together, they raised 2 children, Alexander and Ariana, in a household where privacy was paramount, and the entertainment industry was just a backdrop. The Benton-Gradeau family life was idyllic in many ways, set against the beauty of their homes in Los Angeles and Aspen. Barbie created a world for her family that was rooted in normalcy and shielded from the tabloid culture. She was a hands-on mother, involved in every aspect of her children's upbringing, from school plays to equestrian events, ensuring they had a grounded and well-rounded childhood. Even as her children grew and the demands of motherhood evolved, Barbie maintained her protective stance, keeping her family life discreet and out of the limelight. Her commitment to her family's privacy was unwavering, a reflection of her values and her understanding of the importance of a life beyond the reach of fame. In a world where celebrities' personal lives are often on full display, Barbie Benton chose a different path. She crafted a personal narrative that was hers to hold, a melody of private moments that formed the true soundtrack of her life. Architect of Dreams, exploring Benton's hidden passion for design. Barbie Benton's artistic talents extend beyond the stage and screen, manifesting in a less public yet profoundly impactful realm: architectural and interior design. Benton's penchant for design is not widely known, yet her work in this field showcases the same creativity and attention to detail that she brought to her entertainment career. In the 1970s, Benton began expressing her vision through the design of her own homes. She worked closely with architects and designers, meticulously planning every inch of space, choosing materials, and overseeing construction. Her homes were not mere dwellings, but expressions of her aesthetic, an embodiment of her personal style and sensibility. One of Benton's most ambitious projects was the construction of her house in Aspen, Colorado. It was here that her skills flourished, culminating in a home that was both a retreat and a masterpiece. The residence, which she shared with her husband George Gradeau, reflected her love for rustic elegance and her affinity for natural materials. It became a harmonious blend of luxury and comfort, nestled in the picturesque landscape of the Rocky Mountains. Benton's approach to design was holistic. She believed that a home should be a sanctuary, a place that reflects the soul of its inhabitants. Her design philosophy centered around creating spaces that were not only visually stunning but also functional and inviting. Each room told a story, with carefully curated pieces, custom furniture, and art that spoke to her eclectic taste. Her design work has been recognized in several publications, highlighting her talent for transforming spaces into works of art. Benton's legacy in design is a testament to her multifaceted abilities and her relentless pursuit of beauty in all its forms. Barbie Benton may be best remembered for her time in front of the camera, but her work as a designer reveals another dimension to her character. As we continue to explore the layers of Benton's life, we witness a woman whose artistic vision knows no bounds and whose passion for design has left a lasting imprint on the world of architecture. The Wellness Advocate, Barbie's Secret Health and Wellness Journey. Barbie Benton's journey through the realms of health and wellness is a facet of her life that remained largely away from the headlines. Yet it is within this sphere that she has perhaps made some of her most impactful contributions. Benton's advocacy for wellness reflects her commitment to a holistic lifestyle, embodying the principles of mind-body harmony long before they became mainstream. Her exploration into wellness began as a personal mission, spurred by the health challenges faced by herself and those close to her. This quest led her to delve into the intricacies of nutrition, alternative medicine, and the healing arts. Benton's passion for wellness was not just about her own well-being, it was about sharing her knowledge and resources to help others lead healthier lives. Benton became a proponent of preventative health, emphasizing the importance of natural foods, regular exercise, and mental health awareness. She practiced what she preached, embodying a lifestyle that balanced physical activity with spiritual well-being. Her home in Aspen became a sanctuary where organic gardening and yoga were part of the daily routine. Her advocacy extended to her public life as well. Benton used her platform to raise awareness about health issues, particularly those affecting women. She supported health charities and campaigns, participated in wellness events, and spoke openly about her health philosophy, inspiring her fans to prioritize their well-being. Behind the scenes, Benton was instrumental in championing causes related to health education and access to natural health resources. She quietly contributed to wellness programs and supported initiatives that aimed to bring holistic health practices to a wider audience. The narrative of Barbi Benton as a wellness advocate is a compelling chapter in her life, showcasing a woman dedicated to nurturing the well-being of herself and others. Her holistic approach and dedication to wellness have been a constant thread throughout her life, influencing those around her and contributing to the wider dialogue on health. Legacy in the shadows, the influences and contributions overlooked by fame. Barbi Benton's legacy is one that resounds with quiet influence and subtle impact, much of which has been overshadowed by the more glamorous aspects of her fame. Her multifaceted career and personal interests have left an indelible mark not only on the entertainment industry but also on the many lives she has touched through her lesser-known endeavors. Throughout her time in the public eye, Benton has been a muse and a trendsetter, but her behind-the-scenes roles as a philanthropist, designer, and wellness advocate speak to a deeper contribution. Her influence extends into the realms of environmental conservation, health education, and the arts, areas where her input and support have often gone unrecognized. Her philanthropic efforts, particularly those directed towards environmental causes and children's health and education, reveal a compassionate spirit committed to making a tangible difference. Benton's advocacy for sustainable living and her hands-on approach to supporting various charities demonstrate her dedication to leaving a positive legacy beyond her celebrity status. Moreover, Benton's contributions to design and architecture show a visionary mind at work, one that has shaped physical spaces with the same creativity she once brought to the stage. Her unique aesthetic and passion for creating environments that nurture the soul have inspired many to view their living spaces as sanctuaries for wellness and expression. As a wellness advocate, Barbi has been ahead of her time, championing holistic health practices and mental well-being before they became part of the cultural lexicon. Her commitment to leading a balanced life and encouraging others to do the same has had a ripple effect, contributing to the growing awareness of the importance of health in all its dimensions. Barbi Benton's legacy is rich and varied, with many of her contributions remaining in the shadows yet profoundly influential. As we wrap up our exploration of her life, we are reminded that fame is but one part of a person's story. The true measure of impact is found in the quiet moments, the generous acts, and the creative endeavors that resonate with people's lives long after the spotlight fades.
Think the movies are just make-believe? Wait until you hear what happens when the cameras stop rolling. These aren't special effects or clever editing. These are the real horrors of Hollywood that the industry tried to keep quiet. In March 1931, Newfoundland faced one of its darkest days. The documentary The Viking was shooting a real sealing voyage. Bad call. The ship carried both film crew and seasoned sealers. Business as usual on a working vessel. Until it wasn't. Boom. Near Horse Islands, powder in the ship's magazine blew. 27 sealers never made it home. Real pros, not movie extras. Guys who knew every wave of these waters. Here's the kicker. No cameras caught the disaster. The crew was busy with actual sealing work. Zero footage exists, not one frame, just some peaceful sailing shots from earlier trips. Now, people love to spin tales about secret footage locked in some Hollywood vault. Nope, don't need that drama. Reality hits hard enough. The documentary? They finished it. A tribute to those lost men. 27 empty seats at family tables. 27 futures cut short. Makes all those horror movies seem pretty tame, right? The scariest stories are the ones that actually happened. Just ask anyone from Newfoundland about the Viking, they'll tell you. Fast forward to 1939. The Wizard of Oz needed perfect snow, real snow melted under hot lights. Their solution? Asbestos. Pure white chrysotile asbestos. The studio wasn't being evil. Back then, asbestos was everywhere, buildings, homes, Christmas decorations. That sparkly stuff falling on Judy Garland? Industrial-grade fireproof snow. Nobody knew better. The dangers of asbestos weren't public knowledge. Movie crews used it without a second thought. Those gorgeous scenes where Dorothy dances through the snowfall? Standard Hollywood magic of the era. The scary part? We'll never know the true cost. Asbestos takes decades to show its deadly effects. By then, who could prove where the exposure came from? Movies, buildings, daily life? But here's what makes 1939 snow scenes extra chilling. We watched pure asbestos rain down on some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Right there on camera, in glorious Technicolor. Movie magic had a dark side, but that's nothing compared to what happened during The Conqueror in 1956. Howard Hughes filmed in Snow Canyon, Utah. Bad location choice. The site sat downwind from Nevada's nuclear testing grounds. Nuclear bombs had been going off just 137 miles away. The desert sand, loaded with fallout. No one warned the film crew. The cast spent months there. John Wayne, Susan Hayward, Agnes Moorehead, Pedro Armendariz, Dick Powell. They shot scene after scene in the contaminated canyon. Years passed. Then the cancer diagnoses started rolling in. Wayne, stomach and lung cancer. Moorehead, uterine cancer. Powell, lymphoma. Armendariz took his own life after his diagnosis. Were the cancers from filming? We'll never know for sure. The cast faced other risk factors. Wayne smoked 6 packs a day. Hughes knew something wasn't right. He spent millions buying up every copy of the film. Watched it over and over in his final years. The movie got a new nickname. The film that killed John Wayne. Sometimes Hollywood's deadliest dangers don't show up on camera. In a series about Hollywood's scariest moments, Catch-22's story stands out because of what didn't happen. Mike Nichols put millions at risk filming with 17 actual World War II bombers, ancient warbirds flying dangerous maneuvers over desert terrain. The fear factor? Every flight could have ended in catastrophe. These weren't special effects. One wrong move, one mechanical failure, and both aircraft and crew would be lost. The Mexican desert below left zero room for error. Instead of tragedy, we got triumph. No crashes, no deaths. Just masterful flying that proved Hollywood could handle extreme danger when it chose to do things right. The contrast makes this story truly chilling. While other productions cut corners and cost lives, Catch-22's team faced down similar risks and won. They showed what might have been if other films had taken the same care with human life. From aviation miracles to aquatic tragedy, 1969's Shark lived up to its deadly name. Samuel Fuller's production used real sharks, no rubber monsters, no special effects, just stuntmen and apex predators sharing Mexican waters. Stuntman Francisco Esperanza knew the risks. Underwater shark scenes meant real danger. One wrong move could turn movie magic deadly. That morning, it did. During filming, something went wrong. Details remain murky. The production kept quiet. The investigation stayed private. The film got a new title, Kane. Studios claimed marketing reasons, but everyone knew why. Who'd want to advertise a movie called Shark after a shark killed your stuntman? The incident changed underwater filming. Better cages, stricter safety protocols, more precautions with live sharks. You'd think a horror movie set would be prepared for real scares. But nothing could prepare the crew of The Last House on the Left for what happened in '72. But the real scares? The film's tiny budget. Director Wes Craven worked with $87,000. No Hollywood pyrotechnics, no fancy special effects, just practical ingenuity and fake blood. The climactic explosion? Simple practical effects. Small charges, basic squibs, the kind of stuff that makes modern effects artists laugh. The crew shot guerrilla style. Quick setups, fast takes, no time for elaborate stunts, no budget for major explosions. Sandra Peabody's terror? Real enough. The young actress hated filming violent scenes, but physical danger never happened. The production faced plenty of problems. Weather, money, time. But no one got hurt making this infamous horror film. Real movie dangers hide in plain sight. Long hours, exhaustion, emotional trauma. Not every Hollywood scar comes from explosions. When The Exorcist started filming in 1973, the real terrors lurked off camera. Fire struck first. The main set at Burbank Studios burned to the ground. Not supernatural, just faulty wiring. The production stalled, costs soared, rumors spread. Then came the accidents. Ellen Burstyn's harness snapped during the famous bedroom scene. Her scream? Pure pain. Director William Friedkin kept rolling. The take made the final cut. Equipment failed constantly. The refrigerated set playing havoc with gear. 9 people connected to the film died during production and release. Each death fed the growing legend. Friedkin pushed limits. He fired guns without warning, yanked actors with hidden ropes, slapped priests for reactions, anything for genuine fear. The press loved it. Cursed set. Demons strike back. Perfect publicity for a horror film. The stories grew darker with each telling. But in 1974, Bruce the Shark terrorized its own creators. Spielberg's 1.2-ton star arrived with big promises. Universal swore this mechanical beast would revolutionize movies. Instead, it revolutionized how to shoot around problems. Day 1. Bruce sank straight to the bottom. The crew dubbed it the Great White Turd. Salt water destroyed the hydraulics. Motors failed. Controls jammed. The shark refused to cooperate. Sometimes it wouldn't move. Other times it moved wrong. The Atlantic Ocean turned their high-tech monster into expensive junk. Production fell behind. Budgets soared. Universal executives sweated. But Spielberg got creative. No working shark? No problem. He showed less. Yellow barrels tracking movement. Dark water hiding threats. John Williams' score telling viewers when to panic. Every technical failure forced better filmmaking. Those iconic shots of an unseen predator? Thank Bruce's breakdown. Think that's bad? The production of Apocalypse Now was its own apocalypse. Coppola wanted authenticity. The Philippines looked perfect for Vietnam. Nature disagreed. Typhoon Olga hit 6 weeks into filming. Sets vanished, equipment ruined, the production reset to 0. Martin Sheen collapsed in the jungle. Heart attack at age 36. The airlift to Manila saved his life. Coppola kept rolling with doubles, hiding Sheen's month-long recovery. The director cracked under pressure, sleepless nights, ranting about failure, threatening to end it all. His wife recorded his breakdowns for posterity. Local politics added chaos. President Marcos kept borrowing their military helicopters for actual missions. Some mornings, no choppers showed up. Can't film Apocalypse Now without helicopters. The crew named it Apocalypse When. Nobody knew if they'd ever finish. The madness seeped into every frame. Those 1,000-yard stares? Not acting. After 238 days of filming, they had their movie. But something of everyone stayed in that jungle. From jungle chaos to Vegas inferno. November 21st, 1981. The MGM Grand Hotel turned deadly. It started small. Faulty wiring in a deli wall. By 7:17 a.m., flames engulfed the casino floor. The hotel's ventilation system pumped toxic smoke upward. Firefighters arrived fast. Their ladders reached only the 9th floor. Above that, Guests faced impossible choices: jump or pray. Some chose to jump. The numbers hit hard: 85 dead, 1 employee, 84 guests. Most never saw the flames. Smoke claimed them in their sleep. Another 700 injured, including 14 firefighters. Fire safety changed forever. The disaster exposed deadly flaws in high-rise design. No sprinklers in public areas, no fire doors, no evacuation plans. Vegas learned fast. New laws required sprinklers everywhere, better alarms, smoke detectors in every room. Emergency plans became mandatory. The same year, Roar earned its title as the most dangerous film ever made. Producer-director Noel Marshall's vision: 150 untrained lions, tigers, and big cats, acting natural. No special effects, no safety measures, pure madness. The casualties piled up. Cinematographer Jan de Bont needed 220 stitches after a lion scalped him. Melanie Griffith's face required reconstructive surgery. Marshall himself collected over 40 bites. Production crawled across 11 years. Every time they found a new crew, cats sent them to the hospital. Marshall's family suffered multiple maulings. The screams in the final cut? Genuine terror. The budget bled $17 million. Insurance companies fled. Crew members quit. But the cats kept performing. Years later, Hollywood still uses Roar to teach film students what not to do. Every frame shows real fear, real blood, real consequences. But nothing compares to what happened on July 23, 1982. A simple helicopter stunt for Twilight Zone the movie turned deadly when the aircraft lost control. The scene seemed simple: actor Vic Morrow carrying 2 children through a mock Vietnam village. A helicopter flying low overhead, special effects creating war chaos. Director John Landis pushed for more intensity with each take. Production broke every rule: no permits, no safety coordinator. 2 children, Micah Din Lei, 7, and Renee Chen, 6, working illegally at 2:30 a.m. Mornings were for school kids. These hours were forbidden. The effects team triggered the explosions. The blasts created an unexpected vortex. Pilot Dorsey Wingo lost control. The helicopter spun down. Morrow and the children couldn't escape. The rotor blades struck all 3. Death was instant. Hollywood faced criminal charges for the first time. Landis in court for manslaughter. The trial exposed every broken rule, every skipped safety check, every deadly decision. The aftermath revolutionized film safety. New laws, strict child labor rules, mandatory coordinators. Some lessons cost too much to learn. Even with safety measures in place, filming Top Gun proved fatally dangerous. Art Scholl stood among aviation's elite. Over 30,000 flight hours. Countless successful stunts. The perfect choice for Top Gun's most challenging aerial shots. September 16, 1985. Scholl attempted a flat spin maneuver in his Pitts special biplane. A complex stunt, but routine for someone of his skill. His final radio transmission cut through clear skies. "I've got a problem." The camera crew watched his aircraft spiral away from the planned trajectory. Scholl's plane plunged into the Pacific Ocean. The Navy and Coast Guard launched an immediate search. Days turned to weeks. No wreckage, no body, just questions. Investigators found nothing conclusive. No mechanical failure evidence. No pilot error signs. The ocean kept its secrets. Top Gun's dedication reads, "Art Scholl, beloved husband, pilot, teacher." But Hollywood learned another hard lesson. Even the best can't overcome every risk. From ocean mysteries to desert disasters. Ishtar battled Morocco's merciless summer in 1987. The production ignored local wisdom. Don't film in peak summer. Don't venture too far from cities. Hollywood knew better until it didn't. Saharan heat punished every mistake. Camera equipment failed. Film stock warped. Sound gear malfunctioned. The crew struggled against temperatures that routinely topped 100 degrees. Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman faced their own challenges. Local authorities watched the American film crew with suspicion. Political tensions complicated permits. Every shot required negotiations. Equipment breakdowns forced constant delays. The budget spiraled. Columbia Pictures watched their $50 million investment melt like ice in the Sahara. The crew called it the guide to everything that could go wrong in filmmaking. Director Elaine May never directed another film. Ishtar flopped spectacularly. Critics savaged it. Audiences avoided it. The desert adventure became a legendary Hollywood disaster. Mother Nature delivers better warnings than movie reviews. And the Philippines proved deadly again. Delta Force 2's shoot turned fatal on May 16, 1989. A routine crew transport became anything but routine. The helicopter lifted off carrying film crew members toward their mountain location. No one saw the danger coming. Unexpected fog enveloped the aircraft. The pilot lost visual reference. The helicopter slammed into a mountainside at cruising speed. No survivors. The crash site's remote location complicated recovery efforts. Rescue teams battled dense jungle and monsoon weather. Each hour diminished hopes. The investigation painted a damning picture. Production deadlines pushed pilots to fly in marginal conditions. Behind schedule meant cutting corners. Safety took a backseat to studio demands. 4 families lost loved ones. The film industry lost valued crew members. All for a few hours of saved production time. In Hollywood's rush for action, real heroes died off camera. March 31, 1993. The Crow set faced Hollywood's deadliest props malfunction. Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, filmed his final moments. A prop gun misfired. 8 days from completion, the production turned tragic. The investigation exposed a lethal chain of mistakes. Earlier scenes used dummy rounds, real bullets with powder removed. One round's primer remained active. When fired, it lodged a bullet in the barrel, unnoticed. For the fatal scene, the gun loaded with blanks. Their explosive force propelled the stuck bullet. It struck Lee with lethal force. Medics rushed him to nearby Wilmington Hospital. Doctors fought for hours. Lee never recovered. The film industry reeled. Bruce Lee's son, dead at 28. Another preventable Hollywood tragedy. The aftermath transformed weapon handling. New protocols banned live ammunition on sets. Armorers gained authority. Every prop gun now faces rigorous inspection. From Brandon Lee's tragic prop gun to more cursed productions. The Crow franchise couldn't escape controversy when City of Angels began filming in 1996. The sequel faced immediate backlash. Fans called it a cash grab exploiting Brandon Lee's death. The production moved to Los Angeles, abandoning the original's Wilmington roots. Problems plagued the set. Equipment malfunctions, power failures, inexperienced crew members replacing veterans who refused to return. The tight budget meant cutting corners. The studio rushed production, desperate to capitalize on the Crow's cult status. Weather delays ate into filming time. The schedule fell apart. Reshoots multiplied. Director Tim Pope clashed with producers over artistic choices. Studio executives demanded changes. The original vision dissolved into committee decisions. The final product reflected the troubled production. Critics savaged the film. Audiences stayed away. The franchise's reputation sank further. This time, no lives were lost. But The Crow's dark legacy claimed another victim, its own sequel. Even James Cameron's Titanic couldn't escape tragedy. The $200 million shoot hit an unexpected iceberg in 1996. Someone spiked the crew's seafood chowder with PCP during a late-night filming break. Chaos erupted. 50 crew members began experiencing hallucinations. The night shoot turned into a medical emergency. Ambulances rushed the affected crew to Halifax hospitals. Production ground to halt. The FBI launched an investigation, suspecting deliberate sabotage. Agents interviewed hundreds, tested food samples, checked security footage. The culprit vanished like a ghost in the Atlantic night. Production stalled for a week. Security tightened. Food safety protocols doubled. Every meal faced testing. Cameron pushed through the delays. The crew nicknamed it the PCP Chowder Incident. Dark humor masked real fear. Someone had breached their safety. Trust evaporated. The massive production recovered. Titanic sailed on to become the biggest hit in history. Yet questions linger. Who poisoned the chowder? Why target the crew? Like the shipwreck itself, some mysteries stay buried. But 2002 brought us one of the most chilling stunts gone wrong in Prague. The Palacky Bridge became Hollywood's latest tomb. Veteran stuntman Harry O'Connor faced a complex parasailing sequence for XXX. The first take went perfectly, smooth enough to make the final cut. Director Rob Cohen wanted another angle. O'Connor agreed to a second run. His parasail line caught the bridge support. Impact was instant, fatal. The crew watched helplessly. Cohen later admitted the moment haunted him forever. 1 minute they had a perfect shot. The next, tragedy. O'Connor knew the risks. 20 years of stunt work had taught him well. But even veterans can't beat physics, can't outmaneuver fate. The production paused, crew members mourned. Questions arose about necessity. Why another take? Was the first not enough? O'Connor's perfect first take stayed in the film. His final performance frozen in time, but Hollywood's deadliest days weren't over. During filming of The Expendables 2 in 2011, what should have been a routine explosion scene turned lethal at Ongnovo Reservoir. 2 Chinese stuntmen, Kun Liu and Nuo Sun, prepared for a boat sequence. Standard action fare for an experienced crew. The blast exceeded plans. Liu died instantly. Sun suffered critical injuries. Another routine day claimed lives. Investigation exposed the familiar pattern: rushed schedule, corner cutting, miscalculation. The water-based explosion proved more complex than anticipated. Production halted. Lawyers arrived. The Bulgarian authorities launched inquiries. Even Sylvester Stallone's decades of action films hadn't prepared him for this. The studio settled with both families. Sun survived but never returned to stunt work. The industry added new protocols for water-based explosions. Modern safety measures, experienced crew, major studio oversight, none prevented tragedy. The Expendables 2 joined Hollywood's long list of deadly productions. The price of action remained human lives.